Welcome, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it's Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. That's you. And we've got a really great show tonight. Monday is the International Day of Peace, and so many different organizations have been coming together, putting together very big events, and we're collaborating with all of them. So tonight, you're going to see people from the Shift Network, Global Days of Unity, Earth Dance Global, the incredible global days of caravan, global caravan that's going across the country, the Up Convergence, all these different organizations that are promoting peace and unity. And you'll hear about some of our amazing speakers and presenters. And one of the things we're really excited about is that the music you just heard, that's Larissa Stowe. And we love Larissa Stowe. And she's going to be one of our musicians playing tonight, who's hopefully going to show up soon. Um, she's running a little late, but it's an exciting time. And we always want to thank our broadcast partners. In fact, that's you, because a lot of you right now are watching us on one of these broadcast networks. And we want to thank everybody who's watching us on Unify. Isn't Unify wonderful? My God, what a great organization. And Unify has carried us now, I think, 4 or 5 weeks in a row. And I know thousands of people see us that way. So thank you to Unify. Really want to appreciate the Disclosure Fest Foundation. We're partnering with them next week, and you'll hear all about that. Global Days of Unity out of Australia. They're doing a big event today. And then as their event ends, they're going to bring their audience over. And you're going to meet Chris Decker, who's the head of Global Days of Unity. We appreciate Earth Dance Global. They're also doing an all-day event. And our friends at Awake TV, if you haven't checked it out yet, there's a wonderful new network filled with programming such as ours called Awake TV. So welcome everybody who's watching there. Joy and Summer, the founders of the Sign Network, dear friends of ours. And thank you to all of you who are part of our sine wave, 50, 60, 70 Facebook pages and groups, automatically all watching us through the Sign Network. And hello to those of you watching us on YouTube through New Realities TV. Our good buddy Alan Steinfeld, he's been on the show a few times. Portal to Ascension is the other broadcast partner that we're actually collaborating with next week. So thank you, Neil Gar, for all that you do. And then there's the Love Coach Academy, where we originate, and that's my organization. And we'll tell you a little bit more about Love Coach Academy later on in the show. Reminder that if you are watching us on Facebook through Unify or any of those other platforms, we want to invite you to come on into the Zoom room. There's a lot of advantages to coming into the Zoom room. First of all, we can chat more easily with you. And also, we then have a program at the end of the show called Community Connections. And that's where people that are actually in the Zoom room can come on for a minute or so and share what they were inspired by. Oh my gosh, I loved what Matt Kahn said, or I was so touched by Larissa Stowe's music, or whatever it might be. So there's also a lot of other advantages. Once you come into our Zoom room, we get your email, and we only send you out 2 emails a week. And that has all the replay information and also has all the information about our upcoming shows, our online party, everything you need to know about Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. So it's simple. If you're watching on Facebook, go to globalpeacetribe.com. Let me say that more slowly. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to come into our Zoom room, go to www.globalpeacetribe.com and register. And the next thing you know, boom, you'll be in our Zoom room along with, how many people do we have right now? Well over 200 people in our Zoom room. And we usually peak at about 500 or 600 people are still coming in. And for those of you in our Zoom room, please continue to let us know where you're coming in from. I see Toronto, Utah, Colorado. Wow. Byron Bay. Bruce from Byron Bay. Hey, I bet I know which Bruce that is. Hello, Bruce. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Florida, Stockholm, Alabama, Connecticut. It's really exciting. You know, this show started as a very kind of local San Francisco Bay Area fundraiser, and then it grew and it grew, and we started doing it every week. And then when we started having people like Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson on, it became national. And now that Unify carries it, it's truly international. And it's very exciting to Deborah and I and everybody who puts the show together that we've got people from all over the world. Because if you're watching, you are part of the Global Peace Tribe. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Us, it's us. And this is the time we've been preparing for. So that's why we present options, we present inspiration. We've got tonight comedy and magic, beautiful speakers, beautiful musicians. So thank you for joining us. And now it's my pleasure to turn it over to my partner who makes all things possible, Deborah Giusti.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone to what is now our 24th show that we've done since the lockdown. And this is the 8th show of our summer season. And because of all your generous donations and the GoFundMe donations you've given, we're now creating 12 more new shows for our fall season. And we'll tell you more about that later. And this is going to be another really special show tonight. Our theme is Through Unity, we can create peace in the world. And we focused on a lot of topics and dove deep into the challenges and the opportunity of these times that we're facing now. And a lot of times it comes back to unifying. And what that means is unifying together towards creating a common goal of creating a world that works for everyone and realizing that we are all one. And if we work together towards solutions and goals, towards peace, we are a mighty force of healing and transformation. And that's what's being demonstrated now, as Scott began to share with you that this is a very special weekend, the International Day of Peace, which was originally founded by the United Nations many years ago. And now there are many organizations, many groups all over the world uniting to create this vibration, this prayer, this heart call for peace. And as we know from so many meditations and things that we've done, when we all coordinate together, and there are going to be millions of people coming together, and we create a resonance of a manifestation for peace, change actually happens in the world. And that's what we are doing here on this broadcast and with all the other broadcasts that we are collaborating with. As Scott mentioned, we were collaborating. We're going to be the evening show on the Shift Summit that's taking place this weekend. We are on Global Days of Unity. We're also collaborating with Global Coherence, and we're also on the UP conference. And tonight we have an amazing show of peacemakers in their own way. And I'd like to share with you who's going to be on the show now. And we've got Matt Kahn, an extremely popular and empathetic spiritual healer, very popular on YouTube, who transmits evolutionary wisdom of the new paradigm. Thanks, Matt, for being with us. And we have the fabulous Caroline Myss. She's a 5-time New York Times bestseller, author, internationally known, renowned speaker in the fields of human consciousness, spirituality and mysticism, health, energy medicine, and science of medical intuition. Hello, Caroline. And we have Lynne Twist, who is an amazing peacemaker. She'll be on towards the end of the show. She's recognized as a global visionary committed to alleviating poverty, ending world hunger, and the founder of the Pachamama Alliance. We'll have Chris Decker, who has had a career of over 30 years of creating transformational events and festivals in the world. We're going to have Dinan, who's the founder of the Shift Network event that's happening today, the Shift Summit and Music Festival that's happening all weekend, and we'll talk more about that. We have Reverend Alaya Mahone. She's the founder of the 50 Years Projects, and she empowers both youth and adults to determine their own destiny and confidently step into leadership roles. We have Joseph Jacks. He's the director of Harmonic Humanity. That is one of the nonprofits that we're founding. And he, for the last 10 years, has assisted with the homeless. We have Elijah Ray as one of our musicians. He's an international recording artist, vocalist, composer, poet, multi-instrumentalist. And we have Larissa Stowe, who is incredible. She also helped us with the music on our incredible bumper, and we just adore her. And we also have the incredible Daniel Bellone, who's a spiritual leader, mantra singer, that has transformed the lives of thousands across the world.
I'm going to come in for one quick second just to let Daniel know that Larissa is having some tech issues. So Daniel, we're going to actually ask you to do the first musical number, which will be in a couple of minutes.
Wonderful. And we brought back incredible, one of the world's most innovative and exciting magical performers, Jeff McBride. So we're really happy to have him back. He brings a lot of sparkle to our shows. Thank you, Jeff. And we have the most beloved Swami Beyondananda, who is the cosmic counter alter ego of Steve Behrman. His favorite yoga pose is tongue in cheek. So we're really happy to have Swami Beyondananda back. And we invite everyone to invite people to come into the Zoom room still. I'm going to put in the chat box the way you can invite your friends to come in. And please also share on Facebook. I'm also going to put in the chat box how you can share on Facebook. It's the Love Coach Academy Facebook page. So please share it with your friends. And at the very end, you can stay and we will allow anyone who wants to come on the show and share their 1-minute transmission of what they want to share in the world about peace, what they're inspired about. So anyone from the show can come on. So wait till the end and we'll give you instructions to that. And also we do a very special thing during each show. We raise money for nonprofits that are very valuable in the community, as well as we've been raising money for fire victims in California. As you know, there has been a lot of fire damage in California and also Oregon and North. And so we are able to make a big difference in one person's life who has been wiped out by the fires. So this, what we do is we share this broadcast with you, and then we invite you to share your green love, your green money on whatever level through the GoFundMe. We'll post that link in the chat room. You can also go to GoFundMe and type in Global Peace Tribe, and you'll find our GoFundMe page. And then we take that love energy and we give it back to valuable nonprofits. This time it's going to be Harmonic Humanity that helps with the homeless. We'll let you know more about that. And we're also going to help Melanie Simmons, whose house was burned down in the Oregon fires. So we're going to be able to make a big difference to her, and we'll share more about that. So thank you so much for joining us. It's going to be an incredible show. And now I think, Scott, you can introduce Daniel.
Okay, thank you very much, Deborah. Well, one of the things about our show is we learn to be very flexible, and Daniel has been with us twice before. Thank you for jumping in, and he was going to play a little bit later, but let me tell you about him. He's a spiritual leader and mantra singer that has transformed the lives of thousands across the world. He shares a unique experience called Awakening Through Music, and he's performed in over 30 countries all over America, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. Daniel's spiritual wisdom, insights about life, and advanced knowledge in ancient yoga blends with his beautiful, soothing melodies and ancestral chants. So you're about to experience that. As a spiritual leader, Daniel has been teaching the art of happiness for the last 11 years to over 20,000 students all around the world. He brings consciousness to such subjects as self-awareness, fulfillment, health, wealth, success, spiritual growth, love and relationships, the art of parenting, awakening and transformation, and ancestral liberation. He's an extraordinary man. We are so happy to have you with us, Daniel. And I know you're also part of the Shift Network Music Summit that's been happening this weekend. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Scott. I would like to share with all of you a mantra that is one of the mother mantras in India. It's called the Gayatri, and basically awakens the potential of the sun within ourselves. We are worshiping the sun that shines light of every single person and object and being on this planet, and in that way it awakens intelligence that is different to intellect. The intelligence has to do with the heart and unites us all in an experience of oneness. So with the theme of peace today, I would like to share the Gayatri mantra to awaken this consciousness within each one of us. प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
Just beautiful. Thank you so much. Daniel's going to be back with us again for a second song a little bit later on in the show. So thank you so much, Daniel. And now we're going to show a brief trailer just to share with you a little bit about what has started happening this weekend and is going to be continuing. This is what's happening with the Shift Network and Music Summit. Wow, it's an amazing event. And to tell you more about it and introduce our next speaker, here's Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And I'm really happy to introduce this man who I deeply respect very much for what the work he does in the world. He is the founder and CEO of Shift Network, which is an incredible online platform that has the top transformational leaders. But what he's taken on for this very special weekend to create the convergence of peace is the Shift Summit and Music Festival, which has hundreds of people participating, thousands all over the world. the top leaders, musicians, and you can still participate. So we wanted to give Stephen, who has a viewpoint of interviewing all these incredible people, a chance to share his viewpoint on this amazing time in time, this pivotal time of creating peace in the world, and share more about his incredible music festival that's happening now. Thank you, Stephen.
Well, thank you for having me on here. And Daniel, beautiful music. It's wonderful to be here with many other people who are appearing in the Shift Summit and Music Festival this weekend. It really is an unprecedented event. We have 300 speakers. We have 40 different music artists. We're doing a multi-stage format that's never really been attempted at this level of scale. We have sometimes 8 parallel stages, just as you would at a major conference, with different tracks looking at how we transform different areas. So we have a main stage every day for 2.5 hours from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Then we go into breakout tracks. And so we have tracks around peace and sustainability and health and healing and business and transformative technologies. In each of these areas, 12 different areas of our society, we brought together a dozen experts about how we move that area forward. So Lynne just spoke today on the women's empowerment stage. We had some incredible honorings of Ruth Bader Ginsburg as well. Deva, my wife, was calling people into their power to be world changers. And so there's been this amazing format. I've been playing that. This is the set for like where I narrate going to different stages. So sort of like at the Olympics where you get to kind of say, hey, now we're going to go over here and see what's happening here. And so we got to go over to see Elijah Ray for a while this afternoon. And then tomorrow, Daniel Bellone is doing a full 40-minute set. So tomorrow we have 3 different music stages through the whole afternoon from 1:30 to about 5:30. So it's a very experimental. It definitely stretched all of us to the limit to try to even figure out how to do this level of complexity. But the reason we're doing this goes way back to even before I started the Shift Network. I had this strong intuition that 2020 was going to be a year of igniting the shift in a bigger way on the planet. And it's not just us. It's really about a larger shift of culture and consciousness, a new operating system for our planet. And it's not just about shifting our consciousness. We actually have to shift the society, every aspect of the society as well. So that's why we're featuring healers and change agents and yoga teachers, but also people who really know business and people who really know media. So how do we shift each of those sectors? So way back then, before I started the Shift Network, I thought 2020 feels like it's supposed to be a big year, and the International Day of Peace is really important. It's like a holiday for the planet. And so peace is a reflection of how well we're doing as a species in terms of getting along, becoming more mature, coming together, working together in a spirit of unity. And the truth is right now we aren't doing very well this year. 2020 is a year of a lot of breakdowns. And I hadn't really projected or anticipated the level of breakdowns we're facing, but it makes a certain amount of sense. As tragic as it is, whether it's fires or coronavirus breakdowns or the breakdowns of political polarization, oftentimes we have to hit a wall with the old before we really fundamentally wake up. It's common in addiction world to say you got to hit bottom before you really get clean. And there's a way in which we're hitting bottom this year. And so what we're wanting to do with this in this time of a lot of breakdowns and confusion and fear is really lift us up with as many of the voices that are leading the way forward as possible. And not just for a weekend, but really this is the ignition of a larger set of collaborations. Every track has an MC, and that MC is tasked with a 10-minute game plan on the International Day of Peace, a roadmap. And you're going to hear a little bit later from Reverend Dr. Aaliyah Mahone, who's our new Chief Inclusion Officer. She's got a really cool game plan for how the next decade is one that we shift around racial healing, and a really cool arc of how we do that. Lynne today said was just like, this is the decade that we have to make the major changes for sustainability. This is the decade. There's a lot of people recognizing 2020 to 2030 it's showtime. Humanity has to turn it around. It's not going to happen instantaneously. It's not just one big pop weekend. But what we want to do is lift us up for this 4 days. And we're only at the halfway point. Tomorrow, we've got people like Representative Tim Ryan and Marianne Williamson. We've got a whole social influencers panel with people like Jamila Jamils, an actress. And we've got Greg Braden on tomorrow. And then we've got musicians like Krishna Das and David Pramal and Miten playing. And all this builds into the evening, which is two different indigenous wisdom councils, one with women, one with men, 6 on each. So we're replicating this structure of 12 because it comes from Bucky Fuller ultimately, is that there's a balance and a symmetry and a solidity with a 12 structure. So we had 12 different stages. We're doing 12 different indigenous leaders. as a way to reflect the harmony of the whole. So we're building all over the weekend, building all this energy, making it's all available for free to participate live. And then on the International Day of Peace, we have some of the most extraordinary things happening. We're going to have Deepak Chopra speaking. We're going to have Jane Goodall. Michael Franti is going to do a song. We've got just the blessing of leaders from around the world coming together for a whole interreligious ceremony. There's a world national flag building ceremony. So we really want this to be seen by as many people as possible. So what you can do is you can register for free, participate tomorrow, amazing stuff, drop in wherever you feel like it. We'd love to have your help in getting out the word, and you can share the whole Monday broadcast on your Facebook page to your friends. So you can be a broadcast partner just by going to our feed at 8 a.m. Pacific and just sharing it. And then that gets shared to all your folks and they share out to their folks. We can touch so many people. Just on the first day of the event, we had 55,000 people live on the site, and we had hundreds of thousands, many hundreds of thousands on all the other streams that were getting shared out there. So we want to touch 1 million people on the International Day of Peace with this mission of hope and really serious game plans for how each sector can change, and a lot of collaborative leadership in how to do it. And then we're going to have a mobile app that helps people get engaged that we're going to launch right after that. And so there's a lot of good stuff to come. So I just encourage you to come, feel blessed by whatever you want to, whether it's sacred music or really cool game plan around racial justice, which you're going to hear a little bit more from Aaliyah later tonight. We've had stuff on women's empowerment. We've had sustainability, really breakthrough talk about how do we create a major shift around climate change. So we've just done our best to bring the best of all the conscious community together to really roadmap out how do we make this shift a reality on the planet. So just come to theshiftsummit.com and we'd love to have you play.
Stephen, thank you so much for what you've put together. I mean, I can only imagine what a Herculean task it's been for you to put together this incredible weekend. So thank you. And everybody, again, go to theshiftsummit.com.
The Shift Summit.
Theshiftsummit.com. And that's where you can register. And thank you very, very much. Thank you, Stephen. You know, one of the wonderful things about doing this show is that Deborah and I get to invite people that we've known, that we've worked with in the past, but we also get to invite people that we admire. And I've been a fan of Matt Kahn's for a long, long time. I've read his books, and I don't read that many books, to be honest, but I love his books and I love his message. You know, his message is especially pertinent. So when Deborah reached out, and he was busy, but he agreed to tonight. And so I'm just delighted. And for any of you who don't know, Matt is the author of many best-selling books. Whatever Arises, Love That. Everything is Here to Help You. And The Universe Always Has a Plan. He's a very attuned, empathic healer. He became a YouTube sensation with his healing, and is often very humorous videos. He's got a great sense of humor. He has over 17 million YouTube channel followers, and they're all finding the support they seek to feel more loved, awakened, and opened to the great possibilities in life through his invitation to join the love revolution that's beginning with all of us. What a perfect person for the Global Peace Tribe. Matt, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's truly an honor. Truly an honor to be here with all of you, all of the luminaries that are here, and then all of us that are coming together for the ascension of this planet. And as we begin, I just wanted to say to everyone, as we find a comfortable place to sit, I am an empathic healer, and I offer a transmission of healing energy through the sound of my voice. So not just the words that I'm saying, but the energy that comes through is giving you a direct experience of what my words are suggesting. And so for many years, I've been an empathic healer. And like so many of us on this broadcast, we are empaths, whether we know it or not. And as an empath, what that means is that we tend to see with our feelings. We tend to feel the emotions of others. And for so many of us, it can be a confusing journey of not knowing how to separate your feelings from the feelings of other people. And I spent most of my life confusing this, and often spending my childhood trying to cheer everyone up, thinking that once they felt better around me, then that means I'm approved of and I'm liked. And I was very much caught in what I call vibrational codependency. And through my lifelong journey of having a direct, open dialogue with the universe, what I discovered is that it's through the power and practice and process of self-love that we are able to stand in the presence of our own light, to shine that light in the presence of others, and to actually allow others to help transform and heal without getting sucked in or confused by the experiences other people are having. And because this exceptional program that we're all a part of is really celebrating unity consciousness, I wanted to be here with you. And I wanted to show and give you a direct experience of how self-love is truly the amplifier and accelerator of unity consciousness. And so just as we begin, whether you want to put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, I just want you to let's reframe this notion of self-love, because I think sometimes self-love can be like acceptance or forgiveness, where we walk around knowing the importance and then maybe getting down on ourselves when we don't make time for it. And I want to start by reframing this idea, and that every time you have a sensation in your heart that you should love yourself, instead of it being something that you should do, let us actually, as empaths, realize that what we're actually feeling inside of us is the collective battle cry of humanity. And humanity is asking us to love ourselves, because it is as we love ourselves, we're actually transforming the fabric of reality for the well-being of all. And so what that means in this radical approach is that we actually take a new paradigm approach to healing, where instead of trying to figure out how to turn negative thoughts into positive ones, instead of trying to transform negative feelings into more fulfilling ones, we accept that every emotion and thought that arises in our experience is actually there asking and begging for our loving approval. And simultaneously to how we transform our thoughts and feelings and experiences through the power of love, we are also spreading our light through this interconnected web of unity consciousness to allow this world to be more heart-centered, more open and receptive, more cooperative instead of competitive, and to accelerate the timeline of ascension for all sentient beings. So as we are loving ourselves, we are actually participating in creating the world that we wish to see. And as I say so often, your heart is the center of the universe. Through the heart that you love, all things are transformed. And so as we begin or continue this exploration, just with your hand on your heart, and maybe the words are, I love you. Maybe the words are, I like you. Maybe there's so much being cleared and processed in your field on behalf of the collective. Maybe the words are, I'm here with you. But whatever the most supportive words are, let us craft a sentence that becomes exactly the words that are the words we've waited to hear our whole life, that are simultaneously the blessings that we're sending out to humanity as we love ourselves. And so with our hand on our heart, so to kinesthetically connect and to let ourselves know that we are always by our side. As we started with so eloquently, we are the ones we've been waiting for. And so the hand on the heart is letting us know, I am always here with you. And what's so amazing about self-love is that it's difficult, actually impossible, to be there for yourself and to suffer simultaneously. And the more that you are here for yourself, the more you become the transformer of reality instead of the one suffering inside of it. And so with our hand on our heart, we take a breath, knowing that every single thing in our experience is our experience, but it's our experience of what we are holding and transforming for the world. And we say to the heart of humanity inside of us, I love you. I love you. I love you. knowing if there's any resistance to love, any wiggliness to vulnerability, it is not really your aversion to vulnerability. It is humanity's growing edge to learn how to open its heart and feel safe without the threat of another attack based on our history. And so it's okay. I love you. 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 And again, the shift is that we are the lover of what is arising within ourselves. It is our experience of the negative thinking and the negative cellular memory that shows up in our emotions, but they don't have to be ours to identify with. They can be ours to transform for the world. And to rest in the awareness of unity consciousness, that every time you say, I love you to your heart, what rippling waves of light are we sending out to the world? Every time you love yourself, the oceans of the planet purify just a little bit more. Indigenous tribes discover pure drinking water and are able to grow sustainable food so that everyone in their village can be educated and well fed. Every time we love ourselves, the violence of this planet reduces. Every time we love ourselves, the timeline of ascension accelerates and grows closer and closer and closer. And so it's not just our ability to love ourselves, to accelerate our personal circumstances, but it is the universe accelerating our personal circumstances as a way of saying thank you for participating in the ascension and transformation of mankind. And through the power of unity consciousness, every time we love ourselves, a part of the world is healed. And equally so, every time we bless the planet, a part of us is set free. And so as we've taken this time to love ourselves, may love be not something we should do. May love be something we don't need to do perfectly. It is simply our contribution to creating the change that we wish to see and allowing this world to be as heart-centered as we are. Because although we appear to be people among many individuals, it is truly the world that lives within us. And the softer, more vulnerable, more peaceful and loving we become, the more we are co-creating together a new horizon of heaven on earth. I am Matt Kahn, and I greet you with unconditional love. Namaste.
Matt, thank you so, so much. Just that incredible, beautiful, beautiful reminder and call for the most important thing we can do at this incredible time.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you're up to here and how people can participate.
My goodness. Well, I have a total integration program. It is 2 calls I do per month. And as a healer, what I have found is there's so many of us that have been on a healing journey, clearing, expanding, awakening. And I found that one of the missing pieces in most healing journeys is not making enough time to integrate what we've learned, not making enough time to integrate the wisdom we've gleaned. Because in the journey of expanding consciousness, it's not what we know, but how much we are embodying. And so I offer this total integration program so that no matter what school of thought you come from, no matter what path you've traversed, what program you've been in, the energy I transmit is helping to synthesize, helping to integrate, and help you embody your consciousness. So it's not just words that you know, but it's actions you take so effortlessly because it's been woven into the fabric of your being. I'm just so honored to be able to offer this program to everyone who resonates and who really wants to help create a more heart-centered earth plane.
Thank you so much for that, because it's true. It's all about really embodying
Mhm.
this. And as somebody who's been following you and your work for a long time, I just want to acknowledge that. I want to acknowledge how you do embody your teaching. You live it. You're walking the talk.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, thank you, Matt, so much for that amazing transmission. So much blessings. And now we get to bring on an incredible musician, actually one of my favorite musicians on the planet, Elijah Ray. He is an international recording artist, vocalist, composer, poet, multi-instrumentalist. He's known as a one-man band, and that's what he is, the Band of Light. And what he does, he comes from his heart, he comes from very high frequency, and he lets spirit flow. And that's what we get to experience every time he turns on his music channel, which I love. So thank you, Elijah, for being with us at this very important show tonight, All Around Peace. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. And I just want to acknowledge all the luminaries and luminous beings who are not only here in our boxes of, at home, but just everyone who's watching and is a part of this experience. Thank you for being here. It's true what Deborah just shared, and thank you for that intro. It's almost like I have a radio station in my head that I never make a plan for what I'm going to do, including today. I still had no idea until just about 30 seconds ago when you started speaking. I heard the song that wants to be shared right now, and so I'd like to offer this from my heart to yours. This is called Gratitude. And it reminds me of something my grandmother used to tell me, that gratitude is the best attitude. So no matter what, even if somebody gives you a gift, you can be grateful. And if you get kicked in the knee, still be grateful. And so I just want to offer this song out there. Just maybe we can all think of something right now that we're so grateful for about this moment. There's got to be something really beautiful happening. Hold that in your heart as we sing this song. I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you. Are here in my life. I adore you. My only possessions are the pearls that you gave me. I'm grateful. 'Cause to walk the path of light, it wasn't easy. But now I see it so clearly. You came into my life, and now I know that you've always been there. And now I just wanna say that I love you. Oh, I love you. Yes, I just wanna say I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm thankful. Can we get everybody out there to snap your fingers for light. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. What are you grateful for tonight? Somebody put it in the chat if you're feeling brave, something you're extra special grateful for today. Oh, yes, I'm thankful. I'm grateful, I'm thankful for you are here in my life. I adore you, my only possessions are the proofs that you gave me. I'm grateful, because to walk the path of light, it wasn't easy, but now I see it so clearly. You came into my life, and now I know that you've always been there. Now I just wanna say that I love you. Yes, I love you. Yes, I just want to say that I love you, babe. Yes, I just want to say I'm grateful. Yes, I'm thankful. All right, look out. I'm growing. Yes, I'm flowing like a river, and I'm not going to stop. I'm a giver, receiving, got my lessons, and I'm my blessings. I'm grateful, because to walk the path of light, it's getting easy, because now we see it so clearly. You came into my life, and now I know that you've always been there. I'm grateful, because to walk the path of light is getting easy, because now I see it so clearly. You came into my life, and now I know that you've always been there. Now I just want to say that I love you. Yes, I love you. Yes, I just want to say that I love you, babe. That's all of you. Yes, I just want to say that I love you, family. Ooh, I just want to say, so get so far up of it. Baby. So you let the summer night zip of it, so yes, I just want to say I'm grateful.
Ooh.
Thank you, family. Much, much love and aloha.
Oh, thank you so much. He's going to be back with more music. And I'm really appreciating all the people that responded to his request of what you're grateful for. And I want to encourage you to continue to put that into the chat box. It's lovely to see that. I want to welcome that we've got almost 400 people in our Zoom room, and I know hundreds, maybe even thousands watching on Facebook. And also big love to those of you who watch the recording. More and more people that watch the recording of our show. So thank you very much, Elijah Ray, for that incredible, just beautiful, beautiful song. You know, one of the people wrote that they're grateful for Elijah Ray. Grateful for Saturday Night Alive. Grateful for breath. And somebody else also grateful that I still have my home. And I just want to turn our attention for a moment while we are in this kind of beautiful, soft place that Elijah Ray brought us into recognizing that California and Oregon are on fire. This is just a montage of what's going on. And here we all are. Most of us are in our cozy living rooms or at home watching the show. But while we're watching this show, this is happening. And for anybody who doesn't realize the depth of the fires, we've had bad fires here in California 5 years in a row. I've been evacuated at least once every summer or every fall, actually, for the last 5 years from where I live. I live in an area that's prone to wildfires. In California, the record for most acreage burned was 1.9 million acres. That was in the worst wildfire year. We're already at 3.5 million acres, and we have not even hit the peak. October is the worst month for fire season. And just about every day or every other day, I learn of another friend who lost their home, lost the recording studio. Last week, we had a fellow who lost his home and recording studio, lost in the fire. And maybe about a week ago, actually, I got a call from a buddy of mine, said, "Hey, Scott, did you hear Melanie had everything? She had just moved out, put everything into a storage space, and it burned down in the Talent, Oregon fire." And so it's really important for us to recognize that this is real, this is really happening, and it's really, really hard. And that's why we have our GoFundMe. This, by the way, I'm just going to show briefly. Here's a picture of what was where my friend Melanie had everything, her brand new computer, everything was there, and now it's all gone. So we have this GoFundMe, and we have raised money for nonprofit organizations, and we're supporting one. You'll hear about it later today. But we also are now raising money for our friends that have been dealt a tough blow by the fires. And so please go to, Deborah has put the link into her chat box, or you can just go to GoFundMe and, type in Global Peace Tribe and you'll find us. Global Peace Tribe, GoFundMe. And I am happy that my friend Melanie has agreed to come on the show and be with us for a moment. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Scott. Hi, everybody. Speaking of grateful, I am so grateful and pretty overwhelmed too, just seeing those photos, but also the idea of receiving. So thank you.
And it is your time to receive. I've known you a long time, Melanie. I think we met in Louisville, 10 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And I've watched what you've gone through, and something that when we were talking earlier today, Melanie shared with me, and I'm remembering this from our coaching, but this is not the first fire you've gone through.
Yeah, it was when I was very, very little, and I was lucky enough to have some relatives across the street, and I went across the street. But when I saw those pictures, I was reminded of just, a little girl watching a fire. It's just the little mind can't even comprehend all of it. And in addition, my father, my biological father, left right after the fire, and I never saw him again. I guess I was about 3. And again, the little Melanie didn't understand that. And I noticed with this happening that, the processing of the things is sort of one issue, and then it brings up all the other emotions. That's part of our work. Matt was talking about it, it's taking me into some of the most profound grieving of my life. And I feel like actually the last year and a half has been a process of learning to grieve. But also through that, also what he was saying is like this work that we're individually doing to to, in my case, this feeling of like allowing grief, being with the grief, is creating this deeper compassion in me for everybody else who's losing things, and building that compassion in me to hold space for whatever, like I've noticed that part of my process is to experience what other people sort of are processing. Like it's too much to go there with me. So it's building my well of compassion for others and how I can grow in my ability to, I'll call it hold space for others, but to be with others in their profound grief. And again, I'm a 9 on the Enneagram, a peacemaker. And so how this ties in with this peace is like I've been calling in peace for myself for a really long time. I feel like if I have peace inside, then the rest, all the things happening outside, I can just flow with it. And it's interesting, I'm aware now how in the past when I've set these arrows of intention, it's like if I don't get that right away, what happens is everything in the way of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just literally realizing this in this moment, how all of this is allowing me to go deeper into that, just being peaceful no matter what happens. I mean, definitely grieving it, not bypassing the grief at all. Beautiful sacred objects, things collected over a lifetime. I just had a birthday yesterday, 49. So it was a real interesting surprise of a week. And
Wow. Well, Melanie, I love the balance you find it, because it's true that, the balance of grieving, being grateful, learning to receive. And, so often I've noticed that people that have something like this happen, there is that lesson of learning to receive. And we all are going to help Melanie learn how to receive. And we're going to do that by contributing to our GoFundMe campaign. And for those of you who watch the show, you know what I do. And it's my favorite part of the show probably is a little later on in the show, I'm going to acknowledge all of you. So whether you donate $10 or $100 or $1,000, I'm going to mention your name and just say, hey, thank you, Timothy. Thank you, Joe. All the different people that are contributing. And if you don't want your name mentioned, just, do it anonymously. Please go to GoFundMe. We're Global Peace Tribe. You'll find it easily. Or you can take a look at the links that I know that Deborah has put into the chat box on Facebook, the chat box in our Zoom room. And Melanie, God bless you. And I know that I'll be in close touch with you. And hopefully you'll stick around and enjoy the rest of the show.
amazing. Yes, I've been grateful enough to see Elijah Ray in person and Matt Kahn in person and Carolyn Myss years ago. Like, who ever thought that I would be here?
On the same stage, digital.
So grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, God bless you. Well, speaking of Caroline, to introduce her, I'm turning it back over to Deborah.
And I want to thank everyone for all the donations that are already coming in for this, and such an amazing transmission from Melanie, sharing how we're all getting so much wisdom, learning, and teachings during these challenging times, which we're all going through. So thank you so much for all your donations. But now I get to introduce one of the women on the planet who I adore, and I've been studying and following her for a long time. Caroline Myss is a 5-time New York Times bestseller. She's an author. She's internationally renowned speaker in the fields of human consciousness, spirituality, and mysticism, health, energy medicine, and the science of medical intuition. She always seems to be on the crest of the new paradigm and teaching us we need to know about the new paradigm consciousness coming in. And she's always speaking to what's happening now, which I love to hear. You can hear her on YouTube. She's got many books: Anatomy of the Spirit, Why People Don't Heal and How They Can, Sacred Contracts, which was one of my favorites. So I'm so happy to present and welcome Caroline Myss. Welcome, Caroline.
Thank you. And thank you to all of you. It's wonderful to be in such wonderful company, I have to say. And Melanie, your story is so touching. I send you grace and much more, and Godspeed on your road to recovery. And it's heartbreaking, really. So this listening to your story took me out of my subject matter. I have to reel myself back in here. I have notes on the subject of unity and peace. And I have to say, you know, when I started to make notes on that, I thought, well, where do I begin to talk about the significance of unity and peace, and how does one approach that subject? And then I thought, I recalled this incident, the very first time I went to a lecture ever in the whole of my life on this planet. I was in my late 20s, and a friend said, come with me, I want to go see this. And it was a guru. And then I didn't even know what a guru was. So I went with, and I never saw anything from Hinduism. I never saw anything like this in my life. And I see this man in his robes come in, and all these people were so respectful of him. And I'm standing there thinking, what is going on here? And nobody's talking. And I wanted to, what's going on? I don't understand. Who is he? Where's he from? What is this? In typical me. And then he gets on stage, and I see all of these people like have I mean, I couldn't figure it out. And after all of that, he said that someone said, how can we achieve peace? How can we achieve peace? And that was the question. And I thought, well, this ought to be good. So I tuned in, and he said, become a perfectly healthy you. Give people that. And I'm standing in the back, and I'm thinking, what? What? Did you hear what he said? We came all the way here for that. I'm out of here. And let's go. I need a cup of coffee. I got to get out of here. But I never forgot it. And at first I thought I didn't forget it because it annoyed me. But a lot of things annoy me, and I forget it, but I couldn't forget them. And as the years of my life rolled by, and I started to learn things that matter, that incident would fly back into my consciousness. And as if it was saying, you're learning another piece of the puzzle to this great truth, so that you can understand this great truth. And yet another piece of the puzzle, so that you can understand this great truth, because you don't get it, but you have to get it. And it wasn't until I really started to look at why people don't heal, and then why don't people heal, and then how can people heal, and until my life took a journey into the nature of the soul, until I looked at the significance of now, of this time we're living in a huge cosmic way, the profound significance of what it is to be alive now, the privilege it is to be alive even in this chaos, but especially in this chaos, to understand that a biospiritual ecological theology is being born. And it is one in which the question of peace, why is peace so difficult? Why, when all these years of teaching, and I have asked people, what is it you're seeking? And they'll say, I'm seeking peace. I'd like my life to be more peaceful. Why is that so difficult? Why has that been such a hard, such a goal that is so way out there, when in fact, if we treasure love and peace so much. Why are those the two things that send us into therapy? Why are those the two things that have us forever in despair? And I finally realized that the task comes down to becoming a perfectly healthy you. That peace is not a matter of an issue out there. There'll always be issues out there, always. My background is in theology and in military history, the study of war and the study of God. And I've concluded that we all go to war at some point. We go to war with ourselves, we go to war with others, that conflict is in our DNA, and that we have to resolve conflict within ourselves. We have to take ourselves on. That in order to create peace, we have to first settle why we create conflict within ourselves, within a relationship, within the relationships of those we love. Why we have to win at all costs, why we have to get that last word in, why we have to be right, why we have to, what we will risk for the sake of our ego. And at the end, if I had the time to take this all and give you a crash course on health, I would tell you that your body and your spirit, your whole bio-spiritual ecological system that is you, your microplanet, breathes together with the macro planet. And that one of the greatest health foods you can feed yourself toward peace and unity for everyone is humility, is to become a humbler person, is to decide this isn't worth a conflict. This isn't that important. I'm not that important. I'm to really humble up, to really begin to live a humble life on this earth. That is, for me, one of the true contributions to yourself, to your body, to your mind, to your inner world, of what generates health and what generates peace and what generates tranquility in yourself and in how you see the world and in how you then treat others and how you respond to others. That this is the way in which we begin to generate an atmosphere of peace and tranquility around us, is by beginning to live in a more humble frame of mind that says, and to not fear being humiliated by following our soul's guidance. Both are true.
Unity.
We cannot fear what heaven is telling us, and we cannot humiliate others as a way of controlling our world. I'm those two, if I can give you two jewels to contribute to the peacefulness of your own life, and therefore it spreads. Peace is addictive. That if you truly began to live with this idea of help me, talk to me, give me my guidance, and if you were not afraid that that the divine world was going to humiliate you in some way or take your belongings or whatever, that guidance would allow you to excuse me, have what it takes to empower others, to empower those around you instead of fear their power. These are the ingredients that make peace. These are the ingredients that create the peacefulness that we're seeking. When I think of where conflict comes in people, for the thousands and thousands of readings that I've done in my years as a medical intuitive, I used to look at for the causes when I do a reading, and I would look at, what happened to you? Where was the source of the stress? What was your belief system? But through the years, my understanding of how it is we contributed to the breakdown of our own tranquility, to the breakdown of our own balance inside of ourselves, ultimately came down to the fear we had of being humiliated in the world around us. And that our fear of failing, our fear of trying, our fear of putting ourselves out there, and the consequential rage that we felt toward ourselves for allowing that fear to have authority in us, then had to express itself. And that's how we end up creating conflict within ourselves and within our relationships. So from my point of view, because we can't afford to think that in order for us to have peace and unity in the world, it has to be tied to issues in the street, and it has to be tied to some political thing. It has to be something that we create with every breath we take, with every relationship we have, with the way we think within ourselves, with how we see the world. Peace and unity is an inner way of, it's an inner theology. And the more humble you are, the more you are able to see the beauty and the power in other people, the more you are able to not be threatened by the talents of other people, the more you can say a prayer like, God, give me the means in myself to help empower this other person, instead of being threatened by them. When I was writing which one of my books? I can't remember. I think it was Invisible Acts of Power. I looked up the word humility, and it's defined as poverty, to be poor. Humble is poor. And that's not what it means at all. It means that you have so much empowerment in yourself that in Buddha language, you get that the outside world is an illusion, that there's nothing out there that commands you, that in fact you are so empowered in a holy way, in a truly holy way, that there's nothing outside of yourself that you are seeking. And therefore, because you have that you can look at everybody through eyes that bless them instead of through fear. So as I leave you, let me say that conflict comes from the fear that somebody has something you think you want, or that they're going to take something. And the moment you have that is the moment I'm asking you to take a deep, deep breath and say to yourself, is this conflict worth my power? Am I seeing this clearly? And is there a way that in your heart you can say the prayer, download me with some badass grace. I need it right now. I need it so fast so that I do not lose my power, so that I do not lose my center. You know, see, this is what happens. I start and I can barely stop. So I have to stop myself now, but I want to just thank you all, and bless you all, and stay healthy, and thank you.
Caroline, thank you so much. You know, when you talk about grace, praying for grace, one of my favorite teachers was Paramahansa Yogananda. And one of his teachings was the greatest prayer and the simplest prayer is just maximum grace. Whomever, whether it's a person or the world, whoever we're praying for, maximum grace. Because we never know what's best. We don't know what's in the highest. We just think we know. So just maximum grace, maximum grace. And I was reminded of that with what you just shared.
Totally. My prayer book is out this month. I released my journal on prayers, my own prayer journal. So I don't know if anybody would be interested in that, but it's available now.
Is it, I just pulled up your website. Is it, can we find it on the website?
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Intimate Conversations with the Divine.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. And
Yeah.
so so everybody, it's a very easy website to remember, myss.com, myss.com. And that's where you can get her new book, Intimate Conversations with the Divine. And she's got live workshops, on-demand workshops, free media, sacred contracts, and your archetypes. That looks interesting. Wow.
Look at you scrolling down my.
I am. I'm getting excited here with everything you got going on. So
I'm doing here on October 1st, I'm doing a free online workshop on prayer. And on my it's free. It's for everybody. And they could just, on spiritual direction. And so they're interested. It's October 1st.
Okay, I'm pulling that up right now. So again, on October 1st, and if you go to myss.com, that's where you can find out all about this. And here's her book. And then this is also where you can get the information. And she's beloved by so many, Marianne, Lawrence Freeman, and Lamont. Wow. Caroline, I'm so grateful for you taking the time to be on our show. Every time you come on, you just bring so much wisdom and practical tools and your own personal humility. I just want to acknowledge your own personal humility.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's always hard to follow someone like Caroline, but we've got the perfect person. It's time for some magic. And we've got our favorite magician, Jeff McBride, and this is his third time with us. You know, he's one of the world's most innovative and exciting performers. His shows have won rave reviews, standing ovation. He's one of the hit guys in Vegas. And of course, right now, a lot of those showrooms are shut down because of COVID. So Las Vegas's loss is our gain. But, you know, in addition to being a great performer, he's an author. And his book, The Show Doctor, he also created an epic video series, The Trilogy of Trilogies, all about this art of stage magic and manipulation of time. Jeff has written for international magic journals, and he's also a teacher. He created the McBride Magic and Mystery School, which is considered to be the most prestigious magic school in the world. And I can say it's true because he's referred some of his students to us and they rock. But there's only one master and he's with us tonight. So take it away, Jeff.
It's wonderful to be here and I'm quite honored to be in this grouping tonight, and it's wonderful to be back. And this is a time of initiation for all of us. in magical traditions all over the world, initiates are often blindfolded and in the darkness until that time when they should face the light. And today, many of us feel cut off from the light, darkened by the times. But the real magic happens when we reach out and we embrace and transform that darkness and realize that there are people all over the world that feel just like us right now, today. And how do they feel? Many of them feel cut off, just like separate grains of salt, the salt of the earth, the salt of planet Earth. But without unity, there can be no transformation. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen with all of us being separate? We need a little magic in this world, and we need, through unity, joining together our hearts, minds, and spirits, we can take all those little separate pieces of our lives, of our cultures, of our misunderstandings, and join together in one love and in one world. This little blue marble that we are spinning around on in our galaxy, in our cosmos, it is so fragile. It is so fragile. At this time, we're feeling the fragility of the individual and the planet. But by uniting ourselves, by uniting our breath, by uniting our hearts, by uniting our minds, and by uniting our spirits, we can accomplish real magic in this world. And what magic is that? That magic is not illusion. That magic is the ascension of planet Earth. When we unite our hearts and our minds and our spirits, we can accomplish the impossible, the ascension of planet Earth. So today, if you feel enraged, know that that rage is power to be transformed through the alchemy of our creativity and our compassion. So if you see red, remember that that is the fire of the alchemists. And fire is here to be transformed. So take that energy, whatever it is, and I will teach you a secret spell that can transform all of this rage into magic that can transform the world. This is the secret key. The other is here. This is one, that is the other. I'm Jeff McBride, and I'll be back later in the show to teach you some more magic.
Jeff, I've become 10 years old watching you. It's beautiful watching Swami Steve and Caroline. I'm going to actually do the spotlight on a couple of people who are applauding.
Love magic.
Isn't that wonderful? And how he ties it into what we're
my
all
gosh.
about. Oh my gosh.
Magic is visual metaphor, and we are all alchemists. My job is to remind everybody that they're the magician in their lives with the power to transform the world around them and themselves. Start here, and it moves out from there. I'll be back a little bit later on. Let's stay on track today.
All right, Jeff. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Amazing, and so much teachings in the magic and in everything everyone's saying tonight. It's beautiful. And now we get to have more music with, again, one of our favorite musicians, Larissa Stowe. She is an amazing performer, and we love her so much. We use her music in our bumper that we show every time at the beginning of the show. She is blessed with a voice that is a force of nature, and she has an intuitive gift for songwriting. And she uses sacred mantra in her music, but she rocks it. She rocks it from her heart, her spirit, her whole being. And she can get you up dancing. She can get you deep in your heart. She can have tears come out of your eyes. Just amazing transmissions in her music. And so we're so happy to have her back again. Hello, Larissa. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Deborah. That was so beautiful. I love Caroline so much. so moved, incredibly moved. And I just wanted to say that in response to when she was talking about creating peace on the inside, I just wanted to share one of my most foundational pieces in helping myself get to that place. What has made all the difference for me is bringing a hand to my heart, a hand to my belly, and no matter what I'm feeling, I say to myself in that moment, like if I'm feeling intensity, like early tonight, we were having major technical difficulties to get on. And so rather than shaming myself and going into judgment, I move into a place of I totally accept. And it's totally okay that I'm feeling frustrated right now. And I totally love and accept myself. And then I'll move into a third person. It's totally okay that you're feeling frustrated. I love you. And being with myself like that has made all the difference. So I just wanted to share that with everyone, because creating peace really starts with that deep level of self-acceptance. And with self-acceptance, it expands into love. So that's helped me so much. So I thought, I just want to pass it on to y'all, because we all have that inner conflict. So this is a new one tonight, and grateful to share it with you all. And I invite you to breathe deep with me. I breathe in love. I breathe in light. I am the earth, the wind, the sun, the sea, the light. I breathe you in so I can grow. I let the magic of your stars come crashing in my soul. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Waiting to hear back.
Okay, so I just parked across the street in the driveway.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
How was Mike?
oh, fine. Yeah. It was fine. Yeah.
I breathe in love. I breathe in life. I am
the sea, the light. I'll breathe you in so I can grow and let the magic of your stars come crashing in my soul. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah,
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, the last time Larissa was on our show, she played a song. And the moment I heard it, I said, that's our theme song. That's our theme song. And we built our bumper around that theme song. You all heard it, those of you who came in at the early part of the show. And we're really grateful that she's going to be back playing another song a little bit later on. So thank you so much, Larissa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Jeff, for that amazing magic.
Jeff, yeah, is it something? And thank you to your partner there. Thank you.
Benj, I know. Thanks to Benj. Man, he was really trying to work out all the kinks tonight as we're trying this new interface. I don't know how it sounded out there, but we're working on it to bring better sound to you all.
Sounded good. Sounded good. And you know, it was actually one of those moments where they were originally, Larissa and Bench were going to be our first band, our first song, and they were having tech issues, and Daniel jumped right in, and then Elijah Ray jumped in, and we switched the agenda around, and there it is. It's like community all coming together and supporting each other.
I love that. And I so appreciate it because you have no idea. You can all imagine what it looks like behind the scenes. Because we didn't want to let you guys down. So we're behind the scenes just trying to work it out. And we really did want to step it up for you all. Yeah, there's a lot of time, but we wanted to step it up because we love you all so much and we love the people that tune in, and it is really a beautiful community. It's a weevolution of all of us sharing our gifts.
Well, and thank you for demonstrating, right? Demonstrating how perfectly human, right? And
yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of our amazing community and how supportive they are, wow, a lot of people have donated to Melanie and to our GoFundMe. So I want to thank, it's going to take a few moments. I want to thank Kawalani, Anna, Delilah, Sharon, Phyllis, Cheryl, Sophia Nanda, Janet, Jack, Scotty, Rosemarie, Hope, Celeste, Jeffrey, Carol, our dear friend Pollyanna, she's one of our favorite musicians also, Andrea, Susie, Atira, Jacqueline, Angela, Elizabeth, Mariana, Anthony, Iona, Marlene, Esther, Charlotte, and Catherine. Thank you all so very much for your generosity, for supporting Melanie, supporting our GoFundMe campaign. And again, we want to thank our broadcast partners. And hello to all of you who are watching us on Unify. I see we've got well over, we've got thousands between all of our different broadcasters and all of you who've shared our broadcast. Again, want to thank Disclosure Fest Foundation and Portal to Ascension. We're going to be collaborating with both of them, those organizations next week. Global Days of Unity. Chris Decker, who is Global Days of Unity, he's with us, and you're going to hear from him in a few minutes. Earth Dance Global, Awake TV, our friends at the Sign Network, Alan Steinfeld and New Realities TV, and my organization, Love Coach Academy. Thank you all so very, very much. And now I'm going to turn it over to Deborah, who's got some very fun announcements.
Thank you, Scott. And I want to thank also all the donors, all the people that donate when they register. All that green love money that comes to us allows us to create these very high level programs for you. So thank you so much from all my heart. And that has allowed us to create a new season. And we have one more show for next week for this summer season that we had in August and September. And this show is going to be collaborating with two organizations, and that's a lot of what we've done with this show because everyone's in high collaboration these days. We're going to be working with the Portal to Ascension, which is an online program. They're also going to have a major conference in October, and the Disclosure Fest Foundation, who was producing a major festival in Los Angeles for many years, and they are now going to do it online. So they're going to come on and bring some of their best people and musicians. We're going to have James Redfield of the Celestine Prophecy. We're going to have Billy Carson, Meg Benedicte, who's an Ascension teacher, Mark Sims, who was the producer of the Harmonic Convergence that we had on a lot in July. That was so popular. We're going to have the Stargate with Prageet and Julianne, and we're going to have a very special showing of the Mitchell Hedges Crystal Skull. That's the skull that was originally the inspiration of the Indiana Jones movies. And we're going to do some meditation with the crystal skull and find all about it. We're also going to have, as musicians, Gary Malkin, prominent Grammy Award winner, who also did the music for Thrive 2, which is going to launch on September 26th. We have Kiyoshi, and we have one of our other favorite comedian magicians, Heather Rogers. So we're going to have a really incredible show next week, September 26th. And then because of all your donations and support, we've created a whole new season for you for October through December of 12 shows. On October 3rd, our show is going to be Healing the Relationship Between Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So isn't that an important issue, especially these days? On October 10th, we're going to have a show, Quantum Healing of Body, Mind, Spirit. We had one in August. It was extremely popular. We're going to have a lot of great keynotes that can address quantum healing. On October 17th, we will have Empowering the Divine Feminine. Again, we've done that show before, extremely popular, extremely important topic for these times, Empowering the Divine Feminine. October 24th, Reality Creation and New Earth Manifesting. That is extremely important for these times, knowing how to manifest. October 31st is going to be one of our shows, so we get to celebrate Halloween and Sacred Samhain. And then on November 7th, we're going to have an important show, Post-Election Recovery. So you can imagine what we'll be sharing that time, which will promote a lot of healing and focus of what to do next to really create all that we're wanting to create. On November 14th, we're going to have another very important show with Honoring Indigenous Wisdom. November 21st, we're going to work with Global Coherence Pulse, Building Islands of Coherence. November 28th, we're going to focus on gratitude, but we're going to focus on creating community and what it's like to create community in your world, but also creating community structures that we can live in. December 5th, Secret Ancient History. December 12th, Relationship Mastery. December 19th, we are going to focus on the portal of the winter solstice activation. And on the last day, on December 26th, we're going to do special moments of all the shows that we've done throughout the whole year, really celebrating a whole year of doing these shows. So we thank you again so much for your donations and support and all the collaborations that we've had. And we are also going to do a Global Peace Tribe Supporters Party on Sunday, September 27th. where we can let people meet each other. We can talk about what we're doing. We can let you give us ideas of what you'd like to see. And we're also going to have some special musical guests. So we're going to send out an email on Wednesday to everyone that's registered and a part of our community to let you know how to join that. The Global Peace Tribe Supporters Party on Sunday, September 27th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So the next thing we're going to go into is the next recipient of our GoFundMe. And the GoFundMe has been a really amazing element to this show because we're really using the power of community that reaches out far and wide to give that green energy and love to us. And then we send it out to an organization that's really helping the community or someone in dire need, like the fire victims. And we're able to give like $1,000 or more to these organizations, which is really incredible. So please keep the donations coming in. Anything you want to give, $5, $10, sometimes we get $100. We've gotten $500. So we appreciate it all. And Scott's going to tell you more about our second nonprofit organization, Harmonic Humanity. Thank you.
Deborah. And again, thank you to everybody. The donations are still coming in, and I'll announce the donors that I haven't mentioned yet. And to get an introduction, we're going to hear from Joseph in a moment, who's the creator of Harmonic Humanity. But let's just watch this video for 90 seconds to get a little bit of a taste of what they're doing.
Hey, I'm Jason Mraz.
Hey, I'm Michael Franti.
Hi, my name's Jesse from the band Maroon 5.
My name is Hart Sawyer.
My name is Andreas Zimmermann.
My name is Anthony Singing Bear, musician and activist.
Musician and activist.
Musician and activist from Germany.
I'm joining forces with Jason Mraz,
Maroon 5, Michael Franti,
John Butler Trio, and Sarah McLaughlin, along with other conscious musicians.
And other conscious musicians.
As we contribute music to Harmonic Humanity's mission to end homelessness.
To end homelessness.
To end homelessness.
Sometimes I rock, sometimes I roll.
Harmonic Humanity embraces a story big enough to move us beyond our limits and discover our true potential to end homelessness. Our job is to give the homeless a job. And here's the plan.
Harmonic Humanity makes music compilation CDs
that the homeless can sell on the streets to make money for themselves. They buy the CD at cost and they sell it on the streets for $10 and they keep all the profit.
We give the first 5 CDs to the homeless for free to get started. And then we ask the veteran, the disabled, the low-income homeless individual to buy a CD for $1 or for $2 and sell them for $10, keeping 100% of the profits.
Yeah, you can rely on me. Yes, you can.
We are choosing.
Isn't that beautiful? That is a really cool idea. And we've got with us the founder of Harmonic Humanity. And so we're going to bring on Jeffrey. Hey, Jeff. Need to unmute.
There we go. And Scott, it's JJ or Joseph or Joseph John Jacks. I just want to say that I'm very grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for the platform that you guys are creating. And you guys are really, I want to acknowledge you for a second, that you are creating peace by bringing everybody together. And the web, the Harmonic Humanity is really what, how I connect with you, Deborah, through Harmony. And it was always through a wonderful, beautiful connection of great souls coming together, wanting to make a difference, wanting to shine their light, wanting to give the gifts. And I'm just grateful to be a part of this family. So thank you for the opportunity, Scott.
Yeah, well, thank you. And it's a beautiful idea of what you're doing. And so thank you very much, Joseph. And like, here's one of the CDs. Look at all these amazing songs that are on there.
What's great is that this CD here took 5 years to produce, and nobody really has any idea how hard this stuff is, man. It's so hard. But it's a labor of love. I think all the reason we do all the things that we do is because we get it gets a chance to help people. And this idea was really birthed. And just for the record, I'm not the founder. The founder was a former homeless man who is my best friend. And he has He has moved on to other things, and I have taken the torch. And I'm very honored to take the torch and want to make sure that I'm able to hold it and up high and shine it bright. And that CD is is the culmination of two previous CDs. And that one is called Hero, One Cape Fits All. And these individuals everybody from Michael Franti to Maroon 5 to Jason Mraz to Sarah McLachlan to Ace of Cups, which is a San Francisco band. Did you remember the Ace of Cups, Scott?
Yeah. And looking at your lineup, Tina Malia has been on our show several times.
Yeah, right.
And I just want to take a breath for our beloved Blaine Lyon.
Oh boy, did you see the video? Check out the website. On our website is Blaine. Deborah, did you see this too? Blaine playing with Jason Mraz, and the song was "I Won't Give Up." And Scott, the story behind that, and Deborah, the story behind that is that I talked to Blaine, and I said, Blaine, I think I can connect you with Jason Mraz on stage, and so there was a conversation that we had. And I said, would you play harmonica over his hit song, I Won't Give Up? And he said, I would love to do that. And I talked to Jason about it. Jason said, well, send me Blaine playing the harmonica for I Won't Give Up. And I did set it all up, and it happened. And check out the video on our website, harmonichumanity.org, of Blaine playing with Jason Mraz on stage. And Jason is such guys, he's literally the heart of the community. He's such a beautiful beating heart of what he does with his lyrics and himself. And it was just beautiful, man. And check that out, because Harmonic Humanity, we do work with the homeless, we work with the marginalized, and we create music compilation CDs. And we're working right now with Street Sheets. They're an organization that has street papers. And we like to connect with street papers because they already have the demographic. They already have these group of people who really need an economic relief. And so we're saying, use our album and go out and make $20. Now it's went from 10 to 20 because of course we've got a rock star status. So, thank you, rock star status. And we're asking the homeless to ask for more for the CD. So now it's $20 as opposed to 10, which is a more of a, what we call regenerative, mobile collaboration economy. I know that's very wordy, but it allows for people to take something that we can create for $1 and have them sell it for 20. So it's really conscious capitalism, Scott, and we really wanted to create something like that. And we wanted to use the rock stars were like, use us, use our names, and for Maroon 5 to say, oh, just use our names for a very small nonprofit who has a big heart is wonderful. And we're so grateful to have their support, because we want to get this project all over the United States. If you're listening now and you see the advantage of working with Harmonic Humanity, our model is simple. We have a beautiful CD. It's called Hero, One Cape Fits All. And we truly believe in that everybody is a hero in their own story. And we all know that. We're all reality creationists. We all step in the matrix of our integral philosophy, and we say yes to love. That's how we roll.
Thank you so much. I'm really appreciating. We got to move on. But a reminder to everybody that we really want to ask you, and you're contributing to our GoFundMe campaign. It's supporting Harmonic Humanity as well as Melanie. And so please keep those donations coming in. Thank you so, so much. Also, one other announcement I just want to make is that it's not too late for any of you that are watching on Zoom, on Facebook, and there's thousands of you. Guess what? You can still come into our Zoom room. And so a reminder that all you got to do is go to globalpeacetribe.com, and register, and you'll get the link and you'll come right into our Zoom room. And what's kind of cool about that is that we have our community connections that'll come up tonight. And if JJ is still with us, we'll give him a chance to talk a little bit more about Harmonic Humanity. But also during community connections, that's when you can come up and share what inspired you. Maybe it was something that Lynne Twist shared, or something from Carolyn, or just the music of Elijah Ray. But whatever it is that inspired you or that you want to share, you can do that during our community connection time. So come on and join. We've got well over 300 people in the Zoom room. Come on, there's plenty of room for you. All right. And I think it's time for a little bit of music and to introduce our second song by our musician. Turning it back over to Deborah.
Yeah, Scott.
Daniel Bellone.
Okay, great. So we had a little change in the schedule, and now we're really happy to present Daniel Bellone again. And he is an amazing spiritual teacher and mantra singer who blends music and the divine. So totally appropriate and totally happy to have Daniel back again.
Thank you,
Hello, Daniel.
Deborah. Thank you so much. And I was very touched by everything shared today, feeling how all these people are going through suffering. We are all going through different challenges right now with the fires. And yeah, living in California, we are very much in touch with that. It's in the air. We had an earthquake yesterday. And we all need that source of power to transcend the mind. For me, in my spiritual journey, what has helped me is those tools that take me out of the limited sense of self and expand my mind into the cosmic mind. And that's where I feel the love, that's where I feel the peace, the connection. That's where I'm one with the divine. And when I'm coming from that space, I'm one with everything, with everyone. I feel so much gratitude to be alive. I feel so much love for everything. It's a taste of that unconditional love that the divine has for us. So I would like to share a mantra to expand our consciousness into that cosmic mind, a mantra for Lord Shiva. And right now we are in a very auspicious times, according to the Vedas, because since yesterday till the 16th of October, we are entering a month that only happens every 3 years, that is between the solar calendar and the lunar calendar, to synchronize these two calendars that basically are a map to life and nature. So during this month in particular, any spiritual practice that you do is going to be amplified 1,000 times. It's even said in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna that during the Purushottama month, it's time to gather resources and to go deeper into your connection with God. So in this spirit, I would like to share this mantra for Shiva so that we can connect with the ultimate yogi within us. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shiva Shambho. Om Namah Shivaya. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva Shambho. Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Mahadeva Shambho, Shiva Shambho, Shiva Shiva Shambho.
Thank you so much, Daniel. And I just want to let people know how they can get more of you, that you're on Spotify. So definitely find Daniel Bellone, Bellone, on Spotify. And also, I'm going to just take you briefly to his website. And it's a very elaborate website. Wow, there it is. Daniel is helping us with awakening. Absolutely. And it's simple. It's his name, Daniel Bellone, Bellone.com. So you can get all sorts of information about all the music that he's got and all the things that he's doing. And Daniel, you're just such a gift to our world. Thank you for blessing us with your presence and being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Scott and Deborah. It's an honor to be here among these beautiful people and to be able to share a little bit of what I do. I'm so honored and grateful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Daniel. Beautiful, beautiful. So now I get to introduce another incredible woman who is a true peacemaker. We were so happy that she agreed to join us. For more than 40 years, Lynne Twist has been a recognized global visionary. She's committed to alleviating poverty, ending world hunger, supporting social justice and environmental sustainability. She's worked with Mother Teresa in Calcutta, to the refugee camps in Ethiopia, and she works deeply with the threatened rainforest of the Amazon with her Pachamama Alliance. And she knows that the healing has to start with us. Her incredible organization does Awaken the Dreamer program, which allows people all over the world to start with themselves, with the peace within themselves, and then create action right in their lives, in their community. And that's how the healing happens. So we're so happy to have Lynne with us. Thank you, Lynne, for joining us. And I'd like to present Lynne Twist.
Thank you. Thank you, Deborah and Scott and everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Great. Well, it's always a joy to join you on Saturday nights. I love that you do this every Saturday night. It's a huge accomplishment. I mean, it's complicated. So many speakers, musicians, the technology, and then putting the word out so that you have hundreds of people in the Zoom room and thousands of people on Facebook. I just need to say how, I know we all are learning about how to build community this way, given that we can't gather physically, but you're doing a really beautiful job. And I've been on your program several times, and I was just present to what it takes, the kind of humility and responsibility and peacefulness, actually, centeredness it takes for you, Deborah, and you, Scott, and all the people that I don't know their names, or maybe I do, but I'm not. I represent. I want you to know that for me, you represent a community of deep, peaceful communication and communion, which is really what this whole evening is about. The music gives you that sense of being in communion, listening to Daniel, listening to Larissa, listening to incredible speakers. Carolyn Myss is one of my all-time favorite people. It's a real gift to be part of this, and the way that you weave it into a tapestry of voices and sounds and feelings, and there's like a vibration coming through the screen. So I just want to start by thanking you. It's just great to be part of it, and I love that you asked me to come back and come back again and come back again. So I'll just say a few things because so many beautiful things have already been said that I would just underline and highlight. If I had a highlighter and an underliner, I would do that, or italicize them, bold them like you do when you're writing on the screen. I think that here we are having this evening the day after Ruth Bader Ginsburg has left this world, left the world that we inhabit physically. And I think it's so beautiful. First of all, I'm sad that she's gone, but I also think it's so beautiful that she left at sunset on Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the High Holy Days. I'm not Jewish, but I'm aware that her leaving that moment, sunset on the High Holy Days, which are all about atonement, which is actually at one-ment, is a sign that she is passing a very powerful torch to all of us here. Whether you knew much about her or didn't, you can feel in the enormous accolades and outpouring of love and people lighting candles in front of courthouses all over the United States right now. People going into deep meditation and prayer so that the legacy that she created for women and for all people is that mantle, that legacy, that baton is passed, that torch is passed to all of us. And so I just wanted to say that tonight, being here with you is like me going to the courthouse, which many people have done tonight, to honor her life and to make that statement that we will carry on the work of extending rights to all human beings. And I'm going to include animals and plants and trees and all living things, as she so brilliantly, as an attorney and then a judge and then a Supreme Court icon, did everything that you needed to do what would make everybody have the opportunity to live a healthy and productive life. And that is the foundation of peace. Actually, I heard someone say, and I don't know who to quote on this, but I love this, that peace is not the absence of war. War is the absence of peace. We go to war when we're not peaceful. So where we need to, and we're at war right now in the United States. We're at war with one another. We're at war with our government. We're at war in the streets. We're at war in our hearts and souls. We're troubled. We're scared. There's so many breakdowns. There's so much to handle. There's so many things that are uncertain. And what we need to do to bring to that state of uncertainty is peace, So I love that this is the theme tonight. I was listening today, I was on another event with the Shift Network, and it was all about women's empowerment. And I was listening to Rianne Eisler speak, who was one of the speakers at this event that I was part of. And she talked about, she's always so great. She's just awesome. I love her. But she talked about ending the era of dominance and moving into sacred partnership and collaboration. And that reminds me of the prophecy of the eagle and the condor that says that this time in history, the eagle people, the people who are primarily operating through the mind, will have reached a zenith in our capacity to use the mind. Those of us in the modern world, that's all of us. We will even extend the capacity of the mind with extraordinary tools that would be invented, which is probably a prophecy about the computer. And we will be incredibly sophisticated in our use of the mind, the eagle people, that's the modern world people. And this is a prophecy that has been told for millennia from the Amazon and the Andes. And it's about the 21st century. It's about right now. It's about us. But we will be materially gratified with all kinds of material things available to us, but we will be spiritually impoverished to our peril and our very survival will be at risk. While the condor people, and this is the prophecy of the eagle and the condor people are the indigenous people, the people who live primarily through the wisdom of the heart, not the mind, but the wisdom of the heart, and their full expression as part of the natural world, and live primarily in the spirit world rather than the material world. They will be highly sophisticated, these indigenous people on this planet, in their ways, in their understanding of the natural world, in their wisdom of the heart, in their communion with spirit. They will be highly sophisticated at some sort of a zenith in that world, yet they will be materially impoverished to their peril, and their very survival will be at risk. And this is the time when the eagle people and the condor people will remember that we are each other, and we will fly together in the same skies, and the whole world will come back into balance. But the prophecy also says that the change between the Pachacuti, or the 500 years of dominance and darkness that came in 1492, if you remember that date, they say that was the beginning of the 500 years of dominance and darkness, that right around 1992, the year 2000, we would start to move into the new Pachacuti, or 500 years, which is called the Pachacuti of balance and light. But the transition from dominance and darkness to balance and light, or as Rianne would say, from the dominator model to the partnership model, that transition, the indigenous people and elders say, would take 25, 30 years. And during that time, Pachamama, Mother Earth herself, will humble all her creatures so they remember their rightful role in relationship with her, with tsunamis and earthquakes and fires and floods and hurricanes and huge climactic changes. So I say that this is the period of the transition from dominance and darkness to balance and light, from war to peace, from the masculine overarching domination to the feminine that we all have inside of us, from the yang to the yin, and put the bird of humanity in balance so that we fly not just with a male wing, but also with a female wing. And the male wing can relax in all of us, the female wing can extend, and the bird of humanity can soar. And that is the beginning of a peaceful world, a world without war, a world that's peaceful, a world that is absence of conflict. And that's what you're producing tonight. So thank you for making me be part of it. Love to all of you.
Oh. Lynn, thank you so much. I've been a big part of Pachamama for a long time. So every November, seeing you up on stage and the beautiful way that you ask for money, and we all get out our pens. But you know what's interesting is last week, our whole show was Indigenous Elders, and Chief Phil talked about the very thing you were just talking about, how now is the time of the union of the condor, quetzal, and eagle. And there's a whole new agreement that's been made amongst Indigenous people that he announced on our show last week. So I just wanted to pull up that flyer that he was all very excited about. And again, it's just one more example of what Lynne's talking about, is what you heard Phil talking about last week. You know, we are the ones that are coming together, creating a new world. And so it's very, very exciting. And it's such an honor to have you with us, Lynne. Thank you. All right. Well, guess what? I get to share with you more of our donors. And so here we go, because you're all being very generous tonight. I want to thank Wendy, Thelma, Judith, Tisha, Sam, Karen, Kim, Scott, a different Scott, Morgine, Deborah, Denise, Jane, Laura, and Karen. Those are all donors that have contributed since the last time that I spoke. So thank you so much. And if I ever mispronounce your name, I do apologize. So we've been talking about how this weekend there's so many amazing things going on. The Shift Network Music and Summit, the Global Days of Unity. I'm going to hear from Chris Decker in a little bit. But there's also a lot of really cool stuff going on. And two leaders in our world, I've recently gotten to know them. Just really got to know Peter about 2 months ago and Becky last week. I want to give them a chance to share with you a little bit about what they've been up to. So welcome back, Peter. You've been on our show before, and you are a traveling man. You are traveling all over. Where are you right now in your Caravan of Unity?
Yes, the Caravan of Unity has landed in Stony Point, New York, and tomorrow we're recording this powerful ceremony, which is the Eastern Gate, the establishment of the Eastern Gate here in Stony Point with Chief Dwayne Perry and many others in this dance of blessings. And it's been an incredible ride, Scott, and just so much going on. Like you said, I mean, World Unity Week kicked it off in a way in June, and then it led into the Up Convergence, and then the Up Convergence is just finishing and leading into the first day of the Peace Weekend, which we just had. And also throughout that, this Caravan of Unity that I've been blessed to have the chance to be on has been traveling across the United States. From August 28th, we started at Grace Cathedral through Southern California, Nevada, Colorado, up to Nebraska, across to St. Louis and Chicago and Philadelphia, and then just landing in New York yesterday and getting ready for our New York events, which also include going to the UN on the 21st. We'll be right outside the UN building with Monica Willard and myself and a couple other folks to walk toward the UN chapel as the minister who's going to deliver the moment of silence, the global silence moment with Dot Maver is going to the chapel to do that. So you see the diagram there. We've been dancing across the country in this most unique of ways to these events that have very limited participants, a lot of times none. And that's been really quite trippy. And so it's been a wild adventure, I'll tell you that. And Becky is here with me, and Becky has been managing and going crazy in her own way with the Up Convergence and now the Peace Weekend. So hand it over to Becky for a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you, Peter, for all your traveling. And it's an honor to have you with us, Becky. You have been doing something really wonderful. Tell us about what you've been doing this past week.
Well, thank you so much for having us here tonight, this amazing collective. We have been, well, aren't we all reinventing the media here? Aren't we all trying to break through with all of the amazing things that are actually happening in this world simultaneously as things are falling apart? And the Up Conversions just finished 8 days we had 25 convergence rooms where we had over 500 presentations sharing the news of the people, the words of the people, the beliefs of the people, and we all communicated and connected with each other. And the Peace Weekend has began now, and we're continuing to meet and learn and glean from what we shared. And it's just an extraordinary thing. Right now, today we're concluding the first day of the Peace Weekend global broadcast. And we have 2 more days where we'll feature what Peter was just talking about, one of our Caravan of Unity stops in New York City. And so we're just super grateful for the hearts and hands and minds that are coming together in alignment as we work towards unity and peace.
Yeah. And I understand you're going to bless us with a song.
Yes, yeah. I wanted to share this song because this song to me embodies peace and unity. And so many of us, we're not able to we're meeting in churches in different ways now. And so this song is to the tune of Finlandia by Sibelius. And this song is called This Is My Song. But if you know this song, the second verse is slightly different. It's a newer verse. So I'm going to sing the first and third verse. The first verse is written by Lloyd Stone, and the second verse is written by Georgia Harkness. And just offer this as we all think about how much we love right where we are and how much we all want to honor the rest of the world and other people's beliefs. So thank you. This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my my dreams, my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams as true and high as mine. May truth and freedom come to every nation. May peace abound where strife has raged so long, that each may seek to love and build together a world united, righting every wrong. A world united in its love for freedom, proclaiming peace together in one song.
Oh, thank you so much, Becky. Thank you for your service to the world. Thank you for all you're doing to bring peace to our world and all that you did this past week. And to kind of wrap up this little section, I'm going to go back to Peter.
Yeah, thank you, Becky. We were talking about how much we've been through with all these programs and just needing to slow down and ground. And you're so excited to just get to share your song and be at peace that way. And thank you as we strive to create peace through unity. And that's what we're all up to with our World Unity Week, our Peace Weekend, our Up Convergence, this caravan of unity that you can see all the shows that we've done at the peaceweekend.org website, follow our travels, and be with us as we dare to urge unity, consciousness onto the planet. And to help us with that, we have the website pulled up there, and you can go there and check things out. The Peace Weekend goes for the next couple days. And to wrap this up, I'd like to share with you my personal passion process and project, which is the unity sign, a new hand signal that allows us to say, we used to think we were separate, but we are remembering. The fingers come together as they come to the heart. We are remembering that we're all one. Of course we're all one. Of course this unity consciousness is the one heart, the one love. And when we come from there, we can act together peacefully on the planet. So the unity sign is a peace in, peace out move that says, I'm doing my best to remember, and I'm doing my best to act that way in that unity consciousness so that we can create peace through unity. Because what's missing from peace is this remembering, as Lynne was saying, that of course we're one thing happening. We're not two sides trying to get along. We're one side, one thing happening, the beauty of life emerging and transforming life on the planet. And thank you all for the great work that you do. And this show is just a beautiful expression. Scott and Deborah and your whole team, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a joy to be with you.
You're welcome, Peter. And just a reminder, everybody, you can go to peaceweekend.org, peaceweekend.org, and learn more about the Up Convergence. There's still some really cool events happening Sunday and Monday, so please do check it out. All right, it's time for some more music. And to tell you about that, here's Deborah.
Yes, we always like to continue to raise the energy with the music, and we get to have back Elijah Ray, One Man Band of Light. And what's so great about this is he really tunes in to the vibration of the energy, the consciousness, and what wants to come through. And now we've had a whole amazing show that he gets to draw from and let spirit come through and channel what's next for us to hear and enjoy and feel in our hearts. So thank you, Elijah, for being with us and giving us your next transmission.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's see what happens. I would actually love to invite everyone who is present to take a big deep breath with me. Big inhale, ready? And just let out one of these. I feel like we need to do that 2 more times. We're going to take a big deep breath. Here we go. Big one. Let out any sound you need to make on the exhale. Ready, go. This time, I dare you to let out any sound your body needs to make right now. And that goes for all of you watching the stream. Big, deep breath in. Here we go. Go for it. It feels so good to make sound. It feels so good to just make noises like we did when we were children. I feel like a lot of tension could be released in a single moment if we just toned together. A lot of disagreements could be instantly dissolved if we just said, hey, you want to make a sound together? And we would just like, and do that together. It's amazing how simple that sounds, but how profound it is to sing. How much energy gets moving when we make sound. So would you all join me for just one single note, and then I'll use that note to kind of build a bit of a journey here with my looping pedals. So if you could help me with the first note, we're going to sing the word home. So we're going to tone home together. Like our brother Peter was just saying, peace in and peace out. So we're going to tone home right in here, and then we'll tone it out to the world. Ready? So on the count of 3, we'll take a big deep breath and just sing home with me. Ready? Set. Go.
Hmm. Wow. 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 Elijah Ray, thank you so much for taking us on such a beautiful, beautiful journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much for everyone's contributions and creative energy that was helping to create that space together. So it's an honor. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone.
You know, I'm going to your website, ElijahRayMusic.com, and it's not coming up.
Well, that would be
So,
news for today. Generally speaking, you can always get to me through ElijahRayMusic.com. You can also connect on Instagram. For whatever reason, that one seems to draw me the most in terms of engagement. So it's Elijah Ray Music, also on Instagram. And yeah, just definitely sending wholeness and love to everyone out there and to all the families. Many of my friends and family have been affected by the fires as well on the West Coast, and it's a tender time, but it's powerful what this tenderness is revealing in those of us who are like digging deep and doubling down on unity right now and wholeness. Because when the challenges come, that gets to show us who we are, actually. So I just want to give thanks for everyone on this call and everyone out there for standing strong in these times. Much
thank
love.
you. Thank you, Elijah Ray. And I like what he said, doubling down, and it's true. Again, you know, if you're watching, you are part of this community. You know, we're lucky we get to come on and kind of do our thing, but every single one of you is a precious cell in this new butterfly of creation, this new world that we're all creating. And each and every one of you are playing a very, very important part. So thank you, everyone watching, everyone listening, for the ways that you're listening, that you're taking in this wisdom, that you're showing up in the world, whether you're a single mom with your kids, or it's a time that you're doing deep rest and repair, whatever it is you're doing at this time in your life, thank you for listening to the call. And follow Elijah Ray's advice there. Let's double down on it. All right. Well, we've got some comedy. And we invited, this is like a kind of a celebrity all-star show tonight, to be honest. We brought in our favorite magician, our favorite musicians, our favorite speakers, and of course, our favorite comedian. And I know I'm not supposed to say favorite, but what the heck. This is our good friend Swami Beyondananda, also known as Steve Behrman. And oh, where do we begin? Well, let's just start by saying his favorite yoga pose is tongue in cheek. You see, Swami is the spokesperson for a new non-religion, fundamentalism, accent on fun. Says the Swami, we are strictly non-denominational. You know, in the course of over 25 years of providing comedy and healing laughter, Swami, also known as Steve, has had a long-running monthly column, Ask the Swami. He's written 4 books, Driving Your Own Camera, When You See a Sacred Cow, Milk It for All It's Worth, Duck Soup for the Soul, Swami for Precedent, a 7-step plan to heal the body politic and to cure erectile dysfunction. Boy, isn't that appropriate for this year. He's also produced a half dozen comedy cassettes and CDs. In recent years, he's performed at numerous political events. He's beloved, he's very, very popular, and he's with us here tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to turn it over to the Swami.
Well, thank you, Scott, and everybody. I am honored. Am I on? Do I have the sound? Yes? You hear me?
Yes, we do hear you.
Well, I am honored to be part of this event celebrating the International Day of Peace. And you know what? It's those other 364 days that I'm concerned about. So everybody who is out there who's been cultivating inner peace, time to let it all out. We need all out peace, and I'll tell you why. Because we have the new word, situation. We have a situation, folks. It has gotten so that people are asking, is this the hand of God at work or just a middle finger? People are asking that. And so I was asked tonight, I've been asked to not do any divisive political material. So you've been a wonderful audience. Good night. No, actually, I'm just kidding. Here in the USA, though, we have a deeply divided body politic. Half the people believe our system is broken. The other half believe it is fixed. And we've been divided into 2 political tribes, the red tribe Republicans, blue tribe Democrats, who spend all of their energy arguing about whether it is worse because you're born or the unborn. Meanwhile, the entire system has been stolen by a very small percentage of the uncommonly wealthy, and the bill has been sent to the not yet born. Well, this is a classic case of divide and conquer. And so the solution, unite and prevail. We have to bring left and right, front and center to face the music and dance together, to turn the funk into function and leave the junk at the junction. Yes, we have to bring red tribe and blue tribe together to sit in sacred circle.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I got to interrupt you, but your sound, when we did our sound check today, it was great, but your sound is very, very muffled and people aren't able to hear you clearly.
Oh, well, how about, did I unmuffle now?
Oh, that was much better. It sounds like
Oh,
maybe you had something with the microphone.
I must have had my muffler on. Okay, can I continue now?
No, that's great. Go back a step because we missed it.
Okay, so we have to bring red tribe and blue tribe together to talk in sacred circle and talk until they're purple in the face. Because only by being together as one purple people will the peeps outnumber the perps. And this is a very, very serious situation that we have right now. And that is why laughter is very, very important in these times. Hold on just a second. I had to adjust my mic. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, although it was a little bit better a second ago.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. Okay, good. Okay. So anyway, we have to bring up now what we need right now. When people get very, very upset about things, they get frustrated politically. What we have usually is a revolutionary uprising to overthrow the system. Well, what we need right now is an evolutionary uprising to overgrow the system. Because you know how revolutions go. You keep on the wheel, and you keep going around in circles. So as we overgrow this system with an evolutionary uprising, I've created what I call a 4-step program, which is guaranteed to work 3 times faster than 12-step. Yeah, the 4-step program is wake up, wise up, grow up, show up. Wake up to the illusion of separation. Wise up to the power of love. Grow up from children of God to adults of good, and show up on a new playing field, ready to play a new game on a new field, reality, the greatest reality show of all time. That is very, very important. So, and so these days, when I'm saying this, I have a feeling I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Swami, you're proposing a sane world. You must be crazy. Well, I have to say something. It is time for all of us to create our own sane asylum where we are acting together. Instead of that tug of war that we're so used to, we create a tug of peace where we're all pulling together in the same direction. We have to move beyond those identity issues that we're all caught up with and focus on the identical issues we all have in common. Clean air, clean food, clean water, clean soil, and clean government. Okay, this is very, very important. And so we have to release this state of emergency that gave us Department of Heartland insecurity. And we need to create a state of emerge and see so that we have a love-based heartland security, because we know our true security is in the land of the heart. Yes, in the head, we have beliefs that keep us separate. In the heart, we have unity. Truth lives in the heart. Beliefs lie in your head. And who wants something lying in your head anyway? So it's time to come out of the trenches, everybody. I want to talk to the conservatives. Come out of your foxholes. Progressives, come out of your NPR holes. And look at the whole picture. Join together and be part of this great reality show, reality. I'm going to be blunt here. Either there will be an awakening or we will have awake. And so we have to look at this. This is a very challenging period of time. It's time for great evolution, because for millennia, we have lived under the rule of the lowest common denominator for millennia. And so that is where the golden rule has been overruled by the rule of gold, which is do unto others before they can do unto you. Well, needless to say, this has left us with a lot of toxic residue to metabolize, which raises the question, can we undo the doo-doo that has been done, or will the done doo-doo be our undoing? Well, I can't answer that question because I don't make predictions. I don't want to jeopardize my nonprofit status. But I will say this, we are all in this together. It is up to us. Yes, it is up to us. Remember, there are no sides. There are no sides, there are only angles. And when we look at it from the right angle, we're all on the same side. Swami Byandananda, namaste, and namasko. Goodbye.
That was beautiful. Oh, that's really, really, really fun. So, you know, Swami is available for virtual appearances and fundraisers. And his slightly more serious alter ego, Steve Bierman, is also a sought-after creative consultant who can help you humorize your message and bring wisdom and humor together. I know he's sought after because he was himself looking for himself earlier today. By the way, did you guys all catch the non-profit joke? I like that one. Anyway, you can find Steve and Swami at this website that I've pulled up. It's wakeuplaughing.com. Wakeuplaughing.com. And we all need more comedy. Thank you so much, Swami. Thank you, Steve. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swami. Totally great to laugh. And so many years you've given us of laughing. So much gratitude. And now I get to introduce another amazing being who's been on the forefront of the peace movement in his total divine mission expression. Chris Decker has been involved in creating transformational events and festivals for over 30 years. And in 1997, he founded Earth Dance International, the global festival for peace, which has grown to be the biggest synchronized music and dance event over 350 locations in 65 countries, and is happening now. This is it. This is Peace Weekend. And I really align with Chris so much. We're kind of two allies that are out there on the front of the new paradigm. For many years, I was producing Harmony Festival at the beginning of the season in Northern California. I was the beginning of the bookend, and then he'd come and he'd end it with an amazing Earth Dance Northern California Festival that was over the top for so many years. And he stayed on the forefront of the evolving culture, the evolving humanity, and now he's very involved in a lot of virtual events and helping festivals. We're all collaborating at really high levels. That's the name of the game now. We all work together. We're all on the same page. So he's got a great viewpoint in seeing what's coming down, what's evolving, and he's producing another event for the International Day of Peace, which he's going to share with you. So thank you so much, Chris, for joining us. Chris Decker.
Thank you so much, Deborah. It's just an honor to be here and really appreciate everything that you've held all these decades as well. Like you really helped, you know, like allow this emergence of transformational culture, and especially through the music and arts world to really blossom. And thank you for all your work. Thank you, Scott. So great to be here, and thank you all the panelists. It's so fun to see a lot of my old friends on this session today. And yeah, it's you know, as you were mentioning, it's really the times right now. I mean, we've had such a, you know, a flattening or a pivot, if you like, where we've had to have this breakdown that's happened across the board. I mean, and the breakdown can be seen in a few ways. You can go into a complete fear paradigm space, or you can just allow that to just to find your stillness, your still point in that space, and allow for what's coming, which is actually a major breakthrough. And that's, I think, the process of really finding inner peace in this sort of dualistic plane is there's constant breakdowns. There's constant, you know, pressure to come up against something that's not feeling good, or that's challenging, but then just allowing yourself to just rest in that space, because you can break through. And I really believe that, you know, we have all the tools, and we have all the systems and all the love that's available for all of us to really break through at such a high level I think it's going to be an exponential birth that's happening right now. We're in these deep contractions. You know, it's like the baby's crowned, crown. You know, we've had it across the board. Nobody's left out of this one. This is not a war happening in some country that we're watching nice and gently from home. This has affected all of us across the board. And yeah, so we're in that crowning space, and the contractions are big. And what's coming right now is this ecstatic birth, because I believe the birth can be ecstatic, and this is great. So I'd like to share with you all. We're producing an event. So this weekend actually is an amazing weekend. So I want to thank all the great organizations out there. You know, the Shift Summit's happening, Peace Weekend with Unity Earth. So many great events are coming together as a co-creation to create this amazing moment of a Peace Weekend. And we're also having this weekend that we do once a month called the Global Days of Unity with Uplift. And this weekend, we're doing a lot around peace. And one of the highlights of this weekend is an event in Jerusalem that's happening on Monday at sunset Jerusalem time. And as the sun's setting, a group of musicians and spiritual leaders are joining together on a rooftop that overlooks the ancient city of Jerusalem. And there'll be a synchronized moment, a prayer for world peace that will come. And then a concert with all these master musicians, Palestinians, Israelis, Christians, all coming together to sing. And we'd like to show you a little trailer now, and just to give you a feeling of what's coming up.
In this period of unprecedented uncertainty, it is time to uplift the world with unity and inspiration, lifting our spirits and allowing our hearts to remain open. On the International Day of Peace, Monday the 21st of September, a message of unity will resonate across the world. Overlooking the ancient city of Jerusalem, musicians, artists, and spiritual leaders from different faiths will gather to share one unified message: to honor and celebrate the diversity of all cultures and races, and affirm the healing of our world. We invite you to join a global synchronized prayer and meditation on Monday the 21st of September, broadcast live from Jerusalem. More than ever, it is time to unite as one global community, committed to co-creating a world of unity, peace, and love.
Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, so that gives you an idea of what's coming up on Monday, and we'd love you all to be part of it. And please spread it to all your networks, because the power of coherence, which is, you know, Earth Dance for all these 20-something years, the highlight has always been this moment of synchronicity, where you can have one intentional moment that brings the whole world together regardless of time zones. So that's what we're doing again on Monday, and it'll be a live moment from Jerusalem, sort of. So yeah, we really invite everybody across the world to join us, and please spread the message. And you can go to globaldaysofunity.com and find out more.
Thank you so much, Chris, for what you've put together. And here's the website. There's a lot going on. Definitely, you want to check out the upload, which is happening tomorrow. And so there's a lot of events, a lot of experiences, and then
Correct.
coming together for the broadcast.
Yeah, we have two other events. Tomorrow is the Upload, which is a great event that I'm hosting with Adil, who's one of the co-founders of Unify. And it's more of a sort of a fast-moving variety show where we show cool videos from the field, uplifting video content, artists, musicians, talks, very, very short form. And then on Sunday, the Global Mala Fall Equinox is Shiva Ray has brought together a whole bunch of amazing yoga teachers, and she's doing a synchronized global movement meditation at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that's another one to check out. But you can get all the details at our website.
But make sure you go to globaldaysofunity.com, and we got a lot of fun events to go to tomorrow, all leading up to the International Day of Peace. Thank you so much, Chris, for all the wonderful work you do. God bless
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, everyone.
Well, it is time for some more magic. So here he is. He is This is the best. Jeff McBride.
Tonight, I thought it would be very interesting if I taught you a little bit of magic. You see, here in Las Vegas, I run McBride's Magic and Mystery School. It's like Harry Potter for grown-ups. And we teach magic to people from all over the world. And I do know this. I do know Scott has a new magic kit and some magic books, and he's dabbling now in the arts. And I think it's only fair that I maybe share one simple illusion with you. Would you like that? Yes? Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so here we go. This is an example of the hand is quicker than the eye. First, I'll perform the illusion, and then we'll teach you a little bit about how magic works. A red handkerchief, a silk handkerchief. Now, we know it's real because we trust our senses. However, is the hand quicker than the eye? Let's see. I slowly place the handkerchief into my hand. I snap my fingers in a manner of transformation, and I say abracadabra, which means it is created as it is spoken. And there is the egg, and the handkerchief has jumped to my pocket, just like that. Huzzah. Well, now you'll have to keep the secret. So raise your hand and say, I swear.
I swear.
Very good. That's good enough for me. Now, this is how magicians learn their secrets. The more we know, the more we learn we don't know. And let me show you. There is a little secret here, and one is that we use a magician's egg. And this one is secretly hollow, and we have two handkerchiefs. Before you start the show, you take one of the handkerchiefs and you set it in your pocket. And you have a hollow egg, and you can see that it is hollow. It's made of wood. It was laid by a decoy, you see. And what happens here is you take the hollow egg and you place it in your pocket as well. Now, when you start the effect, you have the hollow egg and the handkerchief in this pocket. You show the hands empty. And you reach into the pockets, and the eyes will follow the moving object. So they will focus over here. Now, you don't show the hollow egg over here. And you notice I use the organic eggs, which are blend into the skin here a little bit. Now, all you do is you stuff the handkerchief into the little tiny hole in the hollow egg. Make a magical gesture, and indeed, abracadabra does mean it is created as it is spoken. I snap my fingers and point, and everybody looks here, and now you take the handkerchief out of your pocket for the ending of the trick. However, remember going into this, I said, the more we know, the more we don't know. Magic really reminds us of that fact. Now, never show this side with the hole to the audience, because what you have to do is say abracadabra again, and you peel off the hole just like that, and you show everybody that it was indeed always a real egg, just like that. Yes. Now I have a little bit of egg on my fingers. However, I will remedy that. And I see Larissa smiling there. I worked with you at the International Alchemy Festival years and years ago with Dennis William Hoppe. Now, magic is all about the imagination. Magic is all about the imagination. And what we visualize, we create. Nothing in this hand and nothing in this hand. I'm going to use my favorite fan. This is a very esoteric fan. This is a fan that makes no wind. That's right, it's very subtle. It's as subtle as the bee in subtle. Now I take the little napkin and I snap my fingers and I visualize. And as I visualize, things start to transform and take shape. And where there was just a little bit of handkerchief, because of my visualization, and as we know, matter is formed by mind, there we have a beautiful little peace crane for the peace tribe, just like that. Not only that, hop! Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. That must have really, really hurt. And it's a real egg, I'll crack it. No, no, oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget. To us, this is food, but to her, it's family. Yes, yes, a little vegan magic there. So it is created as it is spoken, and matter is formed by mind. I am Jeff McBride from the Magic and Mystery School, sending my love to the Global Peace Tribe.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jeff. You are so much fun. Absolutely so much.
It's my great joy and pleasure to share my magic with you.
You know, I could not find a website for you. Is there a particular website you want
It's
me to?
okay. It's okay. If people want me, they'll find me. Go on with your show.
Okay. Well, thank you for the wonderful ways you connect it to our theme every time you're on the show. Thank you so much. And thank you for sending some of your proteges our way as well.
Oh, yes. I love sending students to you. That is a fact. And there'll be more of that. I'm Jeff McBride. I'll see you next time.
And we are posting Jeff's website in the chat room. It's mcbridemagic.com. So you can check him out there and all he has to offer. So there it is. Thank you, Jeff. And we get one more musical act from our beloved Larissa Stowe, who really brings through the heart, the energy, and gets to cap it off this amazing evening. And then we've got one more incredible speaker after that. So please stay on, and I'd like to give it over to Larissa.
Thank you, Deborah. It's such an honor here to be here with you all. It's so inspiring. Everyone is so inspiring. And I wanted to share a song that started out as just a writing to myself. I was going through a pretty dark place. You could consider it like a dark night of the soul. And I feel like we're all going through that together right now. And I never thought that this would become a song until Benj asked me to go through my journals and look for something that maybe could be put to music, that he had this beautiful melody. So I invite you all with this one. It's called Broken Temple. And I invite you to take a moment and to feel compassion for yourself. If you're up against something, up against what's going on in the world, up against a personal challenge, to give yourself a place of unconditional love and compassion, and to remember that everything has a crack. That's how the light gets in. Take me to the edge. I'm primed and I am ready. It's a moonless night and the clouds are crying. Inside this brown broken tempo. I am here now, I'm not afraid to fear now. I'm open like a seed. I have no other need than to love this broken tempo, to love my broken tempo. My scars sheer the choices I've made, bearing these raw stories of perfected pain. Yeah, flooded by flies on grease, leaving no trace of shoulder shame. Not a light to comfort my mind, but I'm not running away this time. Leaning into the length of the storm until the pain breaks, until the light of my soul shakes my fear. From the each fallen stone, there is a heartbreak, leaves an open space. I feel the chill, but I will the light to shine its glow, to fill the crack, make sweet the sorrow, make whole what was hollow. I am here now, I'm not afraid to fear now. I'm open like a seed, I have no other need than to love this broken tempo, to love my 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 broken tempo.
Beautiful, beautiful message. And just to everybody out there, whatever our wound is, whatever that crack where the light comes in, let's all remember what Larissa just taught us, to love that broken temple part of us and part of each other. Thank you. Thank you, Larissa. And thank you, Benj. Behind every great Larissa, there is a Benj.
Not that.
It takes a Benj to raise a Larissa.
This is true.
Thanks, Scott.
This is totally true.
Means a lot.
I
You know,
wouldn't,
you can
I would
also
not be
get,
doing this.
you can also get more of Larissa, which I think we all want, by going to her website. And it's her name, Larissa, Larissa Stowe, Stow, larissastowe.com. And there's a lot going on there. Her new album, There's a Light That Will Remain, featuring the song we just heard, Broken Temple. Definitely go and you can shop. She's got digital music. She even has apparel. and physical music. Remember those days when we played CDs well before our iPhones and Apple Music took over? So, Rissa, we love you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, everyone. Just so inspired to be a part of this beautiful, beautiful community.
Amazing.
Much love.
All right. Thank you. You know, again, every show starts with Larissa Stowe and her song. Well, I would say in the beginning there was Larissa, and it was good, and then God created Benj from the rib of Larissa. Okay, I'm getting punch drunk here. Want to remind everybody that we have one more very important speaker, and then it's time for community connections. And that's when you can come on and share. For about a minute, we ask people to keep it short, but you can share. Maybe you were inspired by Larissa and Benja's music. Maybe you were blown away by Jeff's magic. Maybe you were laughing at Steve Swami and his beautiful humor and his puns. Maybe you were deeply inspired by what Lynne Twist or Matt Kahn or Caroline Myss provided. It's a chance for you to come and share what inspired you today and anything else that's kind of appropriate. So if you want to come into Community Connections, send me a message in the chat box. You may need to send it multiple times. If there's too many going up, I might miss it. And let me know what you want to speak about, what your name is, and I'll promote you to being a panelist where we can then see, and hear from you. All right, I am going to put the spotlight on our next guest. And I met her when we did the show with the Shift Network 2 weeks ago. And I was so impressed by who she is and what she's doing that I immediately asked her if she would do an entire 90-minute show with me next week. I have a show called Straight Talk for the Global Peace Tribe. I think a lot of you have watched it. And Aaliyah is going to be our guest, and she's going to have some of her other people that she's been working with on the show, really talking about this very important topic of racial justice. She's the founder of the Next 50 Years Project, and she's the consummate professional who empowers both youth and adults to determine their own destiny while confidently stepping into leadership roles. Aaliyah specializes in demystifying human improvement and proudly holds a trademark for a 7-step process outlining what it takes to turn one's life around. She's a product of inner city Detroit and a mother who lost her only child to suicide. Let's take a breath with that. In taking that nightmare experience, she has enthusiastically moved into teaching the self-examination and constant updating of our vision for a future. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for the amazing work that you're doing in the world, Aaliyah.
Wow. You're welcome. Thank you, Scott, for inviting me again. I've had a long day. I bet some of you know what I'm talking about. So I am also the new Chief Inclusion Officer for the Shift Network. And I got a call early this morning from Stephen Dinan, about 7:40 a.m. to say, we want to do a tribute for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and we'd like you to be a part of it. And I'm going like, okay, I'm in my jammies, but we can see if we can figure that out. So I literally felt like I was going down the fire pole and jumped into the mode of needing to be present for what was going on. And we did that. And I have been busy on and off through a lot of different events and different activities today until right this moment. So I've been on for at least 12 hours, but I'm still here and still smiling. So Scott, I want to say that I've enjoyed this show, the part that I got to see, because I came late because I was at another event from 6 to 7:30. I got here about 8 o'clock. And I know that right now we have a lot of activity, beautiful activity around peace, and all the visuals were incredible. I was like, wow. I love to see people unifying and people understanding that we are the light. But I also know from my long years of working in the field of what I'm going to now just simply call racial healing, that there's work to be done. That is not just as simple as deciding that we're going to unify. And I say that as a woman of color who's had the experience of being with people that think that we can simply unify. And then I go out into the world, and that's not the way the world is for me. And that may be hard for folks to hear or understand, but I need you to know that that's the truth. And so I realize that this moment that we're in is the perfect moment for us to do something that I've always wanted to do, that I'm simply calling the RACE project right now. And RACE is an acronym. It's R-A-C-E. R stands for reconciliation. A stands for action. C stands for community. And E stands for examination of self. Now, in order to have reconciliation, we have to tell the truth about what's going on. And so part of that truth is that the world is not the same for everybody in it. And even though there are many of us who have the opportunities and the, what should I call it, the path laid out before us to be able to come together and sing about peace and consider how it could look if we decided to move into peace. It's my belief, feeling, contention, I would even say knowing that it's going to take some work. And so I'm going to invite you to work with me. I'm going to ask you to not only think about peace as a concept that we can reach because we decide that we're going to do it, but there are some things that we have to heal in order for that to take place. And there's some big things that we have to heal. We have to heal inside of ourselves. We have to heal the relationships between each other, those of us who are different. We have to heal the institutions and the systems that are actually keeping dominance in place and oppression alive. And we have to think about doing it in a way that it's never been done before. We have to be pioneers of a new racial healing project, which is what the RACE project is about. So I can't give you all the details about what it's going to look like because I won't know until we start to do it. Until you bring your hearts and your minds and your brilliance and your talents to play, and we form a brain trust, maybe even a soul trust, to figure this out. So that's my message for tonight, that I would invite you to consider becoming a pioneer with me, to actually become architects of this healing that needs to be done. And the Shift Network is getting behind me on this. Of course, they wouldn't have me as their chief inclusion officer because they know they're going to get me, right? If I come someplace, I'm going to bring exactly who I am to be there. I actually had a conversation with Stephen about that when we were in our interview, when he was considering me as one of the candidates. And I said, I haven't worked for anyone for over 20 years and I'm going to show up as me. You know that, right? And he said, yes, I expect that from you. I know that you're a strong leader and I'd be happy to have you with me if that's who we decide to select as that individual that's going to be the new chief inclusion officer. He wouldn't let on that maybe he was considering that I might be the one. So I have written articles for the Shift Network. I've actually worked quite a bit with the Shift Network before I was the chief inclusion officer. And the RACE project is something that I have been entertaining in their Catalyst newsletter for a couple of years now, since 2018. And now I'm going to get to do it. And in getting to do it, we're going to implement the medium of a podcast to bring the pioneers together and to have us all talk about what we're doing that's action oriented. That's action oriented. We're not going to just talk, we're going to do and then report back what we did. And so, Scott, I actually sent to you it's a brand new, never been seen before announcement of the podcast that the Shift Network and I and some others will be putting together. It is going to be launched very soon, but we don't even have a name for it yet. And in here, I'm in Los Angeles, so here in Hollywood, that's a popular thing to do, to announce a project without a title. It actually creates a little bit of buzz and some mystery around it. So if you'd like to show that podcast, I'd love to see it. I mean, I'd like to see the announcement for the podcast, and then we'll talk just quickly about it.
You got it. Here we go.
Okay.
It starts with conviction. Healing takes on deeper meaning when a global pandemic has forced us all to pause. We are clearly seeing all the thought viruses that exist around race. It's time to heal the conditions, the traumas, and the systems of racism. I am Dr. Aaliyah. I have been focused on diversity, inclusion, and the work of racial healing since 1995. I love what I do because I know that it is my dharma. I have always wanted to remove the racial divide from our lives. This podcast is an invitation to all those who are willing to take this journey and be architects of the process of racial healing. I know evolution is a stretch. Our convictions matter. Let's create a for real movement.
Wow.
Yeah. So, just a little sneak peek going to night. Tomorrow on the Racial Justice stage at the Shift Summit and Music Festival. And I am co-MCs of the Racial Justice stage with David Haley Mitchell, that's Stephen Dinan's wife. She and I are co-MCs, although I had the great honor of actually being the curator of everything on the Racial Justice stage. So I brought to bear my connections, you might say. And in one of those, so here's a sneak peek. So tomorrow we're going to actually have true, for real law enforcement professionals come and talk to us. I work with the LAPD here in Los Angeles. I had the great honor of bringing Rodney King's daughter, Laura King, to do some reconciliation work with the LAPD in 2016, September. And I have relationships with different levels in terms of the rank and file. And so I've invited some of my associates, my friends, my actual police officer friends, even though, you know, police officers kill Black people, and we see it too much on TV. There are some folks inside police departments that want to get this right, that actually want to be a part of the solution too. And so in reconciliation work, we invite and welcome all who want to do the healing. And then later in the morning, leading into the afternoon, we're also going to bring together a message from some First Nation folks that will be talking about the history of domination and how it was organized. Really powerful. I'm not going to give you names of anybody or names of the actual program. I'm just going to tell you that it starts at 10:30 in the morning. We're going to kick it off with police. And then later around noontime or so, we're going to move into Indigenous First Nation folks who are scholars in terms of how the planet has actually brought together the systems of domination. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And I think that's why I was invited here tonight, so that I could share with you that along with the Race Project. And again, thank you very much for having me. And Scott, you know, you and I definitely need to talk about next Friday, because I want you to not be surprised about what it is that we're going to be sharing on that day.
I look forward to very much, of course, talking to you soon and having 90 minutes to be with you and maybe a couple of other guests you might want to bring along, and to really go deeper into how we do all of these things. Because you're right, you know, I want to look. I'm a privileged white man, and I want to listen. The show you're going to be on is called Straight Talk, and we've had 6 shows connected to Black Lives Matter, Wall of Moms, and in every show I want you to know I do not do much talking. I just ask a few questions, and I'm doing my best to learn, and that's what we want to do. And for those of you who are interested in joining us, when it's really important that we have your email address, because we're going to send out a very important announcement next Wednesday. It's going to be how to register for our new season, how to make sure that you are aware of how to join our special, we're having an online party. And there will also be information on our show next Friday night with Reverend Aaliyah, all about really going deeper into this. And that's our Straight Talk show. So we're growing, we're expanding in many wonderful ways. Aaliyah, I do want to briefly go to your website and just tell us a little bit about the Next 50 Years project.
All right, I'll be happy to. So, you know, I actually wear, you might say I wear 2 hats, but it's actually one piece. I see it as my dharma. And I call myself a social architect, a champion for racial healing, and more than anything, I'm an evolutionary. And so what an evolutionary means is that we take it to, it's our responsibility to actually create the systems, the pathway, the blueprint for things to change. So in that process, I serve as an educational consultant. And so the Next 50 Years project is about working with youth from K through 12 and through about 24, 25 years old, so through college, and that I support administrators, school districts, educators, and students to understand how to make education appropriate for us to groom leaders so that we have what we need in our world. And so the Next 50 Years project is focused a lot on racial healing because that's a big thing that's in our way. But it's also about young people understanding who they are, and teachers and administrators understanding how to support a young person to become the truth of who they are so that they can step into the real reason why they're alive. And so we deal with social emotional learning, restorative practices, trauma-informed care. Trauma-informed care is about understanding that all students have some level of trauma. In fact, right now, during the pandemic, every student is experiencing trauma.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot of these things, of course, from my own experience of having trauma be a part of my life and my family's life. So so that's what I do with the Next 50 Years project. But I also do things that are outside of the schools, which is how I started to work with the police. Because when Trayvon Martin was first shot, killed by somebody who wasn't an actual police officer, but the long and the short story is that I created an article called Encounters with Police, Keeping Youth Safe. And that article ended up being a popular read. And a police officer actually got a hold of it and I ended up talking to the LAPD because of it. And so that's how the relationship started.
Thank you so much for the beautiful work you're doing. And a reminder that for those of you who feel inspired, let's all really check out what she's describing that's going to happen tomorrow. So we go to the Shift Summit, theshiftsummit.com. That's how you can register. They've got 12 stages, including the racial justice stage that Aaliyah is running. And let's definitely go there. And Aaliyah, I'm really looking forward to talking to you soon. Maybe take a breath and let's connect on Monday or Tuesday and
Yes.
plan out what we're going to do on Friday.
Yeah, Tuesday, because Monday is still the International Day of Peace. We still got things going on.
Tuesday is Reverend Aaliyah Day, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on the International Day of Peace as well. And hopefully everybody watching is going to be. And I'm just really, I love how even though it's late, our shows, it's almost 9:30, there's still over 200 people in our Zoom room and hundreds or perhaps thousands still watching on Facebook. It's really beautiful. Thank you again, Reverend Aaliyah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you both, Deborah and Scott. All right.
As we are wrapping up now, I'm going to turn over to Deborah for a few last words. We do have a few people that are going to come in and share a little bit during our community connections time. Again, if you want to come on, you need to send me a message, what you want to talk about a little bit, and then I will promote you to a panelist. And as you come in as panelists, make sure that you're muted so that we don't hear you talking. I noticed that happened once tonight. I am now going to turn it over to my partner, Deborah Giusti, for some final thoughts and words about our show tonight.
Thank you, Scott. And again, for the 24th time, amazing show. Thank you to all the presenters for joining this adventure, the musicians, the entertainers. I also want to thank some special people that helped make the show happen. Chiraya Dharma has joined our show. She's integral to expanding it and continuing and producing 12 new shows that we're going to do for the fall season. And you do need to register again to get the new link for the fall new shows. And we're going to send out an email on Wednesday to let you know how to do that. And also on Wednesday, we're going to send an email about our Global Peace Tribe Party Supporters Party. And that's where we can come on and get to know each other. You can give us some feedback on how it is. We're going to have some music. It's going to be fun. We're going to do breakout groups so you can all kind of meet each other and really be together. So we're going to do that Sunday, 11 a.m. on September 27th, and watch for the email on Wednesday that will show you how to join that. And so again, thank you to everyone. It's high collaboration that makes this happen. That's what we're up to now. Thank you for all your donations. We've got some really great donations to our nonprofit and to our fire victims. So we're going to be able to send big checks to them, which is going to really make them happy and make them go forward. So thank you. And thank you, Scott, for all you do. Thank you to our team who has joined on this adventure, and so much love to everyone. This is really what we're doing here. It's sharing love, inspiring love, letting our love ripple out to the world. So thank you all.
Thank you again, Deborah. And yeah, we've got a really exciting, we've been working on planning out the next 13 shows starting on October 3rd. So definitely make sure you register for that. And we've had some more donations since the last time I spoke. I want to thank Sharon, Francine, Jasmine, Kathy, and Kim, and Wendy. Thank you all very much for your donations. And there's still time to donate. We've got a few more things we're going to do tonight. Even though we're kind of wrapping up, we've got a few more moments. So there's still time to donate, still time for me to thank you. And I'm going to pop the spotlight on Melanie, because there she is. That's who you're supporting, this wonderful woman who lost everything in the fire. So let's just remember maximum grace for Melanie, maximum grace. And as we look at Melanie, she represents all the people who have lost homes, recording studios. Let's really keep everybody in our hearts. Maximum grace for all the people that are going through the fire. Maximum grace. I also want to remind people that my company, Love Coach Academy, when the pandemic first started, right away as a coach, I noticed that a lot of relationships were really struggling. And about the third week of the pandemic, one of my partner that I do the Straight Talk show with, Trish Wright, had a girlfriend who was beaten to death by her girlfriend's husband. They were drunk, and right away we realized, because we knew kind of the dynamics, and he was really frustrated and upset about the pandemic and losing his job and stay at home. And right away we knew, oh boy, there needs to be extra support. You're probably all familiar with the fact that alcoholism is way up, domestic violence is way up. There's a lot of pressure on relationships. So, Love Coach Academy immediately started doing up to 15 free online webinars every week, including this show that you've watched. It's all free. Um, and we have now taken it to the next step. If you have a relationship issue that's challenging, whether you're single and alone and feeling really lonely, or you're having trouble with your kids, or trouble with your parents, or trouble with your roommates, or trouble with your beloved, we are now offering a free discovery session. And so, what you do is you go to our website, lovecoachacademy.com, and you fill out a survey. And we put a lot of energy into figuring the survey out and kind of designing it, but it allows us to see who you are, what you're looking for, and then we know which love coach to connect you with. And we will provide a free discovery session and some free support, some free empathy support for you. We also have a free weekly online class in which it's our empathy practice group. And so that's something that you can always go to. That's on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And all the details on this you can find at the Love Coach Academy. So if you go to www.lovecoachacademy.com, that's where you can get the details about our shows, and that's where you can take the questionnaire. It comes right up where it says start. Just click there, and boom, it starts you on the questionnaire, what your relationship status is, and then based on what your answers are, it takes you down the different track into the different options, and that's how we can support you. So take advantage of this. We've got 20 trained love coaches that are providing a lot of support for people at this time. So don't be shy. Ask for help. Ask for support. Speaking of fire victims, next week we are going to be supporting two organizations. And one of them is a fundraising event that Jeff Eichen has put together. And I'm going to run a little video and then we're going to meet Jeff. But here's a video to tell you a little bit about what's happening next week. On Saturday during the day, there's an all-day kind of telethon. You remember Jerry Lewis and the old telethons? We're doing, Jeff has put together one to support fire victims. Let's learn a little bit more about that.
Good day, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen with the Phoenix Will Rise event, brought to you by IBM.TV. We are having an all-day telethon and fundraiser for the fire victims in California and Oregon. Our musician tribe members lost their studios, their equipment, their computers, and their homes. So step in and join us, please. We will be streaming all day and into the night from 11 to 11 p.m. There'll be Shuni from Guatemala doing an opening ceremony, and there will be Jose Munoz doing a closing ceremony at 11 p.m. So join us. We're affiliated with Unify from 5:30 to 9, and I hope to see you there. And please stay safe, and thank you so much, IBM.TV, for streaming us. Jeff Eichen with the Phoenix Will Rise benefit concert for the fire victims in California and Oregon. Thank you.
Yeah, and so they're gonna kind of swing over to our show from 5:30 once we open up our Zoom room. And just a reminder to come into the Zoom room. I really appreciate the thousands of people watching us on Facebook. But if you come into our Zoom room, we have a little more connection with you, and then you can join us in the evening. And I appreciate all the people that are thanking Deborah and I for tonight's show. Your thank yous really mean a lot, whether you put it in the chat box here or where you send us emails. And I'm now going to bring on Jeff live, not just the video version, but here's the real guy. Hey, Jeff.
Hello. I had my living room tapes on tonight, and with Adam Knight, and with Winsong, and Eric was on. Eric Mobley. He was on tonight. It was a replay while I was listening to you on my laptop over here, and while you were doing some beautiful work yourself. And thank you for collaborating with me and allowing me to be in your network.
Absolutely. And what's the best way for people to tune in to what you're doing next week? What's the best link?
The best link, let me see here, is probably, let's see, Facebook or the Brown Paper Tickets is going to be streaming us also. The cool thing about my relationship with Brown Paper Tickets is that it's called phoenixwillrise.brownpapertickets.com. And once you're in there, there's a live stream coming from my Facebook to Brown Paper Tickets. We embed there. You can watch it there. You can watch the replay there. And also, it's right there where you can also donate right there. And so there's drop down menus and everything that make it a little bit easier. So you can do that, or you can find it on my personal Facebook site. That's where it will be also. And it's Jeff Eichen. Just find me on Facebook. I think that's the best I can do right now. I don't have it on my website, but I do have a website, lifersthemovie.com. It's the movie that I made with Tommy Chong about people in jail for marijuana for life. And so that's my main site. I'll post a posting there. And by next week, we'll have maybe a better address to get everybody to. But the Brown Paper Tickets will definitely have a stream.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Jeff, for all that you do. And we really, really appreciate it. God bless you.
Yeah, we're going to be on for 12 hours on Saturday, and thank you for having us come in at 5:30. And there you go. It's a blessing to help our brothers and sisters that lost their homes in Talon, Oregon, Richard and Earthstar and Shimshai, and some other people that are beneficiaries yet to be announced. And it's my pleasure to do what you're doing in tandem and synchronicity.
Bless you. Yeah, I mean, we are all coming together in wonderful, wonderful ways. I'm not seeing anybody else asking to come into the chat room. So I'm going to wrap it up in about 30 seconds. So just a couple of reminders that we've got a really powerful season coming up. We just planned it and designed it. So honestly, I'm kind of like a little kid excited, and I'm just going to bring it up again to remind you of everything we've got going on next 3 months. Starting on October 3rd with a show on healing the relationship between divine feminine and divine masculine, and then just all the topics. And we took a lot of input in from all of you about choosing these topics, selecting our speakers. And so, what you have to say really matters to us. So please, it's very, very important. Keep an eye out for the email that you're all going to get next Wednesday. That'll show you how to register for the new season. And also, we're starting once a month a private online party for the people that are kind of our most significant supporters. And that's where you'll be able to come on and hang out with Deborah, myself, some of our guests, some of our favorite musicians like Pollyanna, Fantuzzi, Cornflower. We'll be taking turns playing music. And it'll be like a private party for you, and a chance for us to learn more about what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of. So we're continuing to grow our community, and that's really, really important. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you on Friday night. And by the way, tomorrow morning, every morning on Sundays, I do my Sacred Sunday show. That's at 10 o'clock. You can find that on the Love Coach Academy page or on my homepage. And Becky, who you met tonight, is going to be my special guest. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. Otherwise, hope to see you on Friday night for Straight Talk with Aaliyah. And then, of course, next Saturday night for our September 26th show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. God bless you. Let's be safe and let's be compassionate for ourselves and for each other. Good night.